I do not have a single issue with the way that Hezbollah has defended southern Lebanon.
Me neither,
I do not have a single issue with Hezbollah as a form of militancy trying to incur penalties on the genocidal state of Israel.
Hasan, you spoiled, pampered, professional, illiterate moron. Why does he try to hold two positions at once? This lying, slimy. Ethan needs to get him with this. Hasan is so like, you can literally just Arabs all over the Middle East with total impunity. Hasan will just let you get away with it because you occasionally fire rockets against Israel as well.
This is your tweet, and I'd like you to summarize it for me. Here it is. You said, go ahead, you can read it for me and explain the picture.
I can't. I don't know where it is.
So, you can't see it?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
Oh, he's happy with this one.
Okay,
Israel proper is like
just a little delay for him, Dan? Or?
No, I can see it. Bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper.
Nazi-occupied Poland.
What's the picture?
Let's go.
This is Zone of Interest. You're familiar, yes?
Explain for the audience what this picture entails.
This is Zone of Interest, which is a Oscar award-winning movie depicting the banality of evil during a literal Holocaust taking place, the monotony of the day-to-day existence, the beautiful garden.
And your implication is what?
Rudolf Hess and his family put together.
And your implication
in the backdrop, you can see there is a concentration. There's a concentration camp, Auschwitz.
Your implication
there's
to
a
me
train that
is what?
Most
if
likely,
you wanted to be analogous, you never will be comparing Nazis to Israel. You would probably choose a settlement near the West Bank. You wouldn't say Israel proper, but okay.
Inferred to be sending
one.
This is the clip you're responding
detail.
to. Hold on. Like it's completely based on my. I actually don't know where it is, but I said we know what it was. I just said Israel proper, right? I said my lived experience in Israel proper.
Can you
explain
play the clip? Play the clip.
It's 2 minutes, and I don't know where this happens. If somebody can find out.
No, play the clip.
In America, an autopsy is performed, and the families don't have a say. Good for you. Domestic situation, not in the middle of a armed conflict. For one, two. If you have an issue with Jewish practice, then take it up with Muslims as well, or off.
Play the full thing. We have time. I'm not going nowhere.
Let me see. Yeah, I mean, I want to watch it too. It's just.
I know you do.
Let's see here. I don't. Here, I'll just play it. Oh, this is a clip from the critically acclaimed Content Cop. How's that working out?
The content.
You think he's happy he made that video?
The context slop. Call it that.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't talked to him about it.
I mean, he put out a really big video. I mean, I would be stoked.
I don't know why you're asking me about what iDubbbz is thinking, but I mean, I assume. I mean, it performed pretty well. I think it doubled your video. So
yeah, I mean,
it's not that bad.
If anything, I think it just means that more people are interested in me than you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I believe that for sure.
Very good.
I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people, some falsely and some for decent reasons, wants to.
Do you want to look at the like ratio?
Someone put you down a peg. It's probably the reason why there's a lot of people watching this conversation as well.
Let's go.
Do you want to watch the the like ratio on this? Damn.
The like ratio on this.
Oh, I don't care. It's so petty. Off.
Wait,
Not interesting.
Ethan,
from a
play the
viewer.
video. This is also been reported even by your favorite. What is it? Nicholas Eat Oreos.
My favorite.
To be false.
Okay. Well, here.
I thought Hasan didn't know who Nick Dorio was. Isn't this the guy who Nazi?
Let's watch it.
Correct.
Let's just watch it.
Why am I arguing on behalf of Ian's the video's performance? I don't give a. Come on, play the video, dude. Come on, Jesus Christ, play the. Clip.
I mean, it is ironic that he came and did this whole show of doing it with you, and it like just completely humiliated him. I think that's.
Wait, what about the Auschwitz comparison? Where did that come from? Zone of interest. Just to be clear, Auschwitz-Birkenau, less than 3, 4, 5 years. Less than about 3 years it would have been. Auschwitz-Birkenau. Yeah, they murdered like 1 million Jews. And there's no armed conflict happening from the Jewish end at this point, right? It's not like Auschwitz. It's not like Auschwitz was before the Nazi occupation, a launch pad full of tunnels and military infrastructure and rockets and weapons firing at Germany and trying to destroy the entire country. God.
Funny and interesting, but I'll play the clip.
not on leftovers. He's now talking about it on
And it was a prison. They were unarmed and like completely defenseless when they were put in. Okay.
podcast. What I want to do is show you.
Are you denying? Hold on, I'm sorry. His entire creator clash is in ruin. The event is going to be absolutely canceled. He's probably not even able to reimburse most of the fighters for the time they trained. How is that not a train wreck?
Ethan,
I'm just saying.
I am not iDubbbz. I don't care about your petty vendetta against iDubbbz. Play the
You were in the video.
clip.
Guys, how I see Israel. Because
You
you
were in
don't
the
see
video.
that. When you listen to Hasan and you hear all these
Yes, you ruined a charity event. I hope you're proud.
Oh my God, bro! You have no idea what you're talking about.
He's now talking
I'm
about
talking
it on
about
his
Israel proper.
What I want to do is show.
And you're showing headlines about Gaza. I literally say in this clip that has nothing to do with the conditions of Gaza and the conditions of the West Bank, which I consider to be like apartheid. Like it's completely based on my lived experience of 5 years living in Israel.
Okay, Wilner, thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to give you a big timeout now because you're just lying. No, they do not. International organs of justice do not necessarily conduct assessments of crimes through autopsies. Read the entire McBride Commission and Sabra Shatila and tell me how many autopsies they used to discover what's happening. You liar. Go away.
My lived experience, bro. You are so out of line. You have no idea. How do you have the confidence to make this video? Again, I don't know where it is, dude. The phrase.
Show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that when you listen to Hasan.
Israel blocks, and he shows these headlines. Israel again blocks Gaza aid. Again, I'm not talking about Gaza, which I say clearly in this clip, but go on.
And you hear all these mega lefties talking.
Israeli authorities block healthcare to Gaza. Again, I'm not. Do you think that I'm talking about walking around Gaza? When I say how great multicultural it is,
We
did
never
you think
defended
that?
how Israel attacked Gaza since October 7th. Not even
Shield your eyes.
once. We never
I think that's
co-signed what they did.
Is that not the point he's making, though?
It already happened. I said it. Oh. No, okay. Well, anyway, the phrase I said is that my experience in Israel proper.
What happened after that when AB chimed in? I wonder. Anyway, listen.
Who knows? I mean,
God, Hasan is so familiar with all of these clips. He's actually like, I thought he didn't have time for this stuff. I thought he was like I thought Hasan was a news commentator. He's not though, is he? He's like a slop creator. It's ironic because even though the thing, there was a few hit and misses from Ethan, he could have done a lot better there. And he was speaking past Hasan with the survivor testimony completely. Despite that, Hasan does a lot worse in the part than he did on any of the sword, the Sabra list, the Theo Von. Hasan was so much more confident and like competent in navigating that part of the conversation than he was in the rape part. Like so far, Hasan's worst part of the performance is the denial part, which is interesting because that's the politics part. He's actually better at slop than he is at politics so far.
Like to make inferences based on.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
You know what's so funny? You know what's funny?
crazy,
it's all on the audio.
Like
Go
both
listen
AB
to it,
and
dipshit.
Olivia
It's on the audio.
were-
You don't know what you're talking about. You're a pathological liar. You are a propagandist. It's on the audio. You can go listen to it if you gave
both
a fuck.
AB and Olivia were chiming in. I don't know why we buttoned it. I'm just asking. It's fine. It's not that
He's
big of
trying
a
to
What are you
divide and
implying
conquer.
here?
This Ottoman colonizer thinks he can divide and conquer. Oh no.
What are you implying with this photo?
What photo? Oh, with the photo. Okay, so
He's like excited to bring it up.
let's
man.
begin.
Fuck.
This is going to finally cause us to talk about Israel-Palestine.
No, it's
Bro, just explain what you're
By
trying to
your own
say.
admission, there is a genocide that is taking place in the Gaza Strip. By your own admission, there is also an apartheid structure both in the West Bank, but I don't think you believe that there's an apartheid happening within Israel proper by your own terms.
I don't think
Do
it's.
you
I don't.
feel-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So do you feel as though Israel is somehow inseparable from both of these actions?
No, but obviously the conditions are different in Israel proper versus the West Bank versus Gaza. Like
especially since Hasan thinks all of Israel's actions are because of an exterminationist view towards Palestinians. But that means the difference between Israel proper and the West Bank and Gaza does matter, because why are Palestinians in Israel living such different lives as by law, like as equal citizens, like with the same passports and same citizenship as the Israelis, why is their conditions so different from Gaza and the West Bank if it's just about a specific hatred towards Palestinians? Doesn't make sense. Palestinians who live in Israel are citizens. Like they're Israeli citizens. They have voting rights. They face discrimination, but to call it like apartheid or to call it like racial like exterminationist policy, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. There are more Arabs and there are more Palestinians in Israel than there are Jews in every MENA country combined, every Middle East, North Africa country combined.
I mean, the West Bank has checkpoints. It has like different areas of zones of interest. People don't have freedom of movement. So obviously that's more apartheid-like than the main body of Israel.
But so the Settlers documentary is a lie. That's exactly what I said, Satnav. You're a very intelligent person. It's exactly what I said. Yeah. That's what I said. That's what I mean when I'm talking about Palestinians who live in Israel, you moron. Okay. Sorry. Stop trying to say that it's an apt comparison with Nazis in the Holocaust. It's just not. It's just not.
Yeah. Don't you feel like you going to Israel proper would actually resemble someone going to, someone going near Auschwitz?
To occupied Poland? Well, I'm sorry. Is Israel occupied territory to Hasan? Does he disagree with international law? Okay. Well, he's so dense, man. Jesus
Being like,
Christ.
well, it's actually beautiful there. It's
Not at all.
that big of a deal.
No.
Occupied Poland.
It's multicultural. Oh, you don't see the comparison.
Well, I mean,
Well,
where
Jonathan
Israel?
Glazer,
You
who
mean in Tel
made
Aviv?
this-
So you're saying
Jonathan
that
Glazer, who made this video, Jonathan Glazer, who made this Oscar-winning movie, does see the comparison.
So hold on, your
He
criticism.
said as much.
You're
In
saying
his Oscar award.
all I said was
Well, because he got an Oscar, that means he's a valuable political commentator. Hasan, you are a slop commentator. You are a entertainer. That's why you think, oh, this guy won an Oscar, therefore his opinions on the Holocaust in Gaza are clearly well informed. What a moron. What a slop content creating piece of shit.
my
winning
lived
speech.
experience in Israel proper. Is the problem that Israel proper? That sounds racist or something?
No, I think you're trying to present.
It would be
Israel-
like Israel proper if Israel had just recently invaded Gaza and the West Bank and had almost immediately upon that invasion decided that they were going to enact a policy of exterminating all the Palestinians within hopefully a few years. And then they would be, if you're Palestinian Israeli, then there would also be part of that program putting those people on trains and pushing them into the West Bank, into the death camps where people are taken prisoner, disarmed, disowned of all their property, stripped down to a pair of pajamas, and then systematically marched into gas chambers in the millions within a couple of years. That would be an apt comparison. But actually, it's not really, none of those things are the case, so fuck me.
Israel as a beautiful multicultural
But I guess the guy won an Oscar, so.
land when it is directly doing a genocide across the border boundary, okay, and
Yeah.
also
I
is
make
an
a distinction.
apartheid on a good day.
Yeah, I make a distinction for sure.
You can't.
I mean, I lived there
Israel
for 5
proper
years in Tel
from
Aviv.
the crimes that is happening 6 miles away, Ethan. That's my point. So
6 miles from
saying-
where I live in Tel Aviv? 6 miles from what?
I don't know how many miles away it is from.
It's a lot
Wait, why doesn't he guess? Does Hasan even know the basics about, oh God.
In
You
6
live in Tel
miles.
Aviv.
What the f- are you talking about?
I don't know how many miles away it is. That's not the point. It's
No, so
close
your
enough that
well,
you can see it. If you go to Sderot, you can watch it.
the
They call
point
it
you're
the night
making is that
cinema.
Remember
every-
when all the Jews in Nazi Germany, remember when all the Jews in Nazi occupied Europe, when a bunch of them, like thousands of them, got really mad at the Jewish partisans for fighting, and they were like, no, you guys are terrorists. We just want white flags. We don't want to make peace with these guys. Stop gambling with our lives with your reckless adventurism. Remember that? Remember when that happened?
Everybody living in Israel is living next to a concentration camp.
Yes.
So,
A death
so
camp.
and so I said, bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper. And you're saying that I am a Nazi officer living casually and enjoying life as people are
No, you're not directly a Nazi officer.
Well, that's what this says.
No,
that's,
Ethan, you're taking
Rudolph,
it a little
that's
bit
Rudolph
too
Hess.
literally. I think the point there with that imagery is not that it's a
Why
Nazi
did you choose the
officer,
one with the
is
guy
that-
standing in it?
Well, I'm actually interpreting the work of art in the exact same way that Jonathan Glazer, who made this piece of cinema, interpreted it. The entire point is you can have a wonderful life as an American Jew in Israel. Of course you can have a wonderful life in Israel. That's the point, because Israel is a ethno-religious supremacist apartheid state that is currently doing a genocide. It is the entire underlying principle of why this nation state was founded. That's what it was founded on. It was founded on exterminationist principles of the indigenous Palestinians, which you seemingly agree to.
Founded on exterminationist principles. Why aren't they exterminating the Palestinians in Israel then? They've literally got them in the palm of their hand. These guys are mostly unarmed. They can literally just roll tanks into Kfar Qasim like right now and make quick work of them within like a day. Like, hell. Exterminationist principles. He's so dumb, man.
So yes, if you actually think Israel is doing a genocide, then it comes across as rather odd that you would go to Israel to show how multifaceted and how wonderful Israel is.
I mean, yeah,
it would be exactly like someone saying, "Oh, you don't understand. I'm German. I am going to Poland. I'm going to go to Warsaw. I'm going to go to Auschwitz.
It's not the same at all, dude.
How wonderful Auschwitz looks like."
No, it's not. That doesn't even make sense by Hasan's comparison. That's like, in Hasan's comparison, it would be like going to Germany. It would be like, what if Germany was, for some reason or other, there were a bunch of mixed German and Jewish communities in Germany where they had equal citizenship and rights and voting rights. Oh no, but in Germany they stripped the Jews of their citizenship, didn't they? And then they expropriated them, and then they put them into concentration camps or put them on trains and sent them to death camp. He's such a moron. This is why Hasan doesn't do debates with people who actually know things. Holy, he's so ignorant. I don't know if he doesn't know anything about Israel or he doesn't know anything about the Holocaust. Or is it both? Or he's a Jew hater. I don't know. Or he's just saying it to get under the skin of Jews.
Okay,
German
thank you.
territory.
I lived in Tel Aviv. I worked beside Palestinians. I worked with them. I took the bus with them. I walked around the streets with them. I went to the restaurants. They worked with me in my businesses. It's not what people expect. That's my point. You don't see...
Yeah, that would be lying. That would be lying to your audience about the actual totality of Israel. You want to talk about my totality of anti-Semitism inferred off of like hyper specific narrow definitions that you have invented in your mind? Talk about the totality of a country that you recognize is doing genocide. You think it's appropriate? You think it's appropriate to go to Israel while there is a fucking genocide going on?
You did a show with me and you consider me your friend, and you knew that I was apparently a Nazi officer that whole time.
What?
I said you were considering me a friend. You did a show with me. You knew I lived in Israel that whole time. I'm surprised you were willing to work with a Nazi officer.
I also have interviewed members of the Knesset, as a matter of fact. Like Ofer Kasif, I have interviewed Israelis from the anti-Zionist youth movement.
Yeah, let's go.
Israeli members, the Israeli Jewish citizens.
He did this in Japan as well. Does Hasan just go to these different countries and just find like the 0.3% of the population who are communists and just talk to them? Fuck me.
That have refused service, refuseniks. I don't have an issue with people that have lived in Israel. Some of the reason why I know the total and utter depravity of the inception of Israel comes from Exeter University's very own Ilan Pappé. His writings are what guide me. Of course.
His writings
I don't have an issue with people that have lived in
fucking pretension. It's so stupid, man. Like, if Ilan Pappé is your go-to source, then yeah, you're not going to know fucking dick about the formation of Israel. Sorry. You can read The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine. If you want to learn about the conflict, you should, because it does tell you some things that other books won't, like about the typhoid poisonings, for example. That was real. But if you read just Ilan Pappé, literally the Arabs are doing, like, they're completely passive. Their leadership is doing nothing. Like, he lies about a bunch of things. He says that, like, in the mid-20s, the Arabs were warming up to a binational one-state solution, but he sends you a footnote that just goes to absolutely nowhere. He lies about a lot of things in the book, but it's like, the main thing he does, though, is that he just completely omits anything that the Arab leadership did that was like wrong.
Israel and no longer live in Israel, or even still live in Israel, as a matter of fact. As long as they are anti-Zionist, because I care about Zionism as an ideology. I do not care about Jewish people or Israeli people. These are not a part of my consideration, because I believe in the best of people. I believe that people, regardless
Jesus
of the
Christ,
circumstances
bro.
that they've been
Let me
presented
respond.
with, can see right from wrong.
Okay, very
and
good.
I thought
Dashboards.
foolishly that you were one of these people.
Very
I
good.
foolishly thought you could also see right from wrong. But it's obvious to me that you have simply used what is going on for the past 16 months
Bro,
of horrific
do you want me to
mass
respond?
bombing and starvation.
Hassan, you got
as
to
a
you got to
tool
stop.
to
You got to
present
stop
yourself
with the
as a
fucking
victim.
with the gish galloping. I know.
This
You're
is not a
righteous
gish
and I'm
gallop.
evil.
I'm explaining
Let
to
me
you my
respond.
position.
Let me respond. I agree with you. I think that my characterization of it as a utopia, like in that moment, was distasteful, and I wish that I had said that differently. And I see that it came off bad.
you.
It came off bad, and I was wrong on that one. I totally agree. Watching that clip back,
you.
I'm regretful about how I spoke about it. So I agree with you.
Okay, that's fair. See, this is. I wish you were this open-minded for the past 16 months, Ethan, because I feel like a lot of the conversations
Well,
that
my
have taken
problem
place.
is not with your philosophy on Palestine. My problem is with your community and the harassment you've leveled against me and my
Ethan,
family.
people make inferences off of what you say. They do not know what's in your heart. Okay, and this is something that I
agree on a
privately.
lot of things.
This is
The
something
issue
that
is
I
the
privately
harassment.
talked to you about in the beginning after October 7. I told you time and time again privately.
Okay, bro, you've
that
talked a
the
lot.
reason
Let's
why
just
people
move on,
think
please.
You
I-
are
I-
behaving like a. The reason why people think you are a Zionist
Mm-hmm.
is not because you're Jewish, but because of what you're saying. They
What did
heard
I
your
say that's
output,
Zionist?
and they made these
What have I
inferences.
I
ever-
don't like this thing with fucking Zionists. Like, a Zionist is just someone who believes Israel has a right to exist as a Jewish state. Like, if you believe that, you're a Zionist. I know people like to fucking pussyfoot around it because it's a word that's been so soiled by the idea that, like, oh, if you're like a Zionist, that must mean you support settlements, and it must mean you support every war crime that's taken place in the entire history of the country. It's not. It's just Israel has a right to exist as a Jewish state. That's it. That's it. Not even permanently. Like, okay, if the entire Middle East became actually like a fully equal multicultural region where there's no discrimination, then yeah, your view on Zionism would change. Zionism's manifest destiny for Jewish people. Yeah, Ellen, you're a Jew hater. If you think that, you're a fucking Jew hater. I'm sorry. Like, fuck off. Manifest destiny. Jesus Christ. Zionism is Jews saying every fucking country we go to, we get murdered, pogromed, discriminated, second-class citizens. Maybe we should go somewhere, maybe the place that we were originally booted out from 2,000 years ago, and go there and like establish a presence and hopefully establish a state there. That's Zionism. Like, you can argue that lots of it was problematic, like obviously evicting people by land purchases, the expulsions of the 48 War. These are horrible things. Rejecting Zionism, on the other hand, is saying that like after the Holocaust, or even like during World War II, or even after 1925 when America closed their doors, it's like you're basically saying, nah. I know every country in the world is basically saying no Jews, but we're going to make sure there's one more. Like there's one more country that Jews can't go to. They could have just gone to the US. See, thank you, Ellen. I love you. Because you're exposing how fucking stupid you people are. America, look up the Johnson-Reed Act, 1925. America closed their doors to Jews in 1925. The same year, incidentally, when Jewish migration to Palestine massively increased. Thank you. Yes, you don't know anything. That's why you think that. America put in quotas to keep the number of Jews coming into America every year down. At the same time, actually, as the rise of fascism in Italy, France, Germany, all of Eastern Europe, the Soviet Union. They could have just gone to America. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you for bringing that up. Yes. Yes. It is sheer ignorance. Thank you.
Said
your
that
output.
shows that I'm Zionist.
Ethan, the way that you have tackled the subject matter.
Say one thing that has shown the world, undoubtedly, how Zionist I am. That I am worthy of the scorn of you and the entire left.
How wrong that was. What you just said.
Okay,
so
does that mean I'm a
example.
Zionist? I mean, and by the way, that was a recent clip. That doesn't explain the last 2 years.
Yes, it doesn't.
So
And
what
there's
did I
plenty
say in
there
the
as
last 2
well.
years besides
There's
that
plenty there
clip?
as well?
What did I say, Hasan? What did I say that's
recently
Zionist?
as last month.
You can't
as
give me
recently as
one
last
fucking
month.
contextual example of me saying something that's Zionist after this
Yes.
entire... Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
You have something?
I have many things.
List
As recently
one.
as last month. As recently as
List
last month.
one example of me saying something
I'm giving you another
Zionist.
example. Just calm down and
They
listen.
have an autonomous oblast in Russia. Based.
As recently as
You're not
last
answering
month,
my question. You're
talked
just doing
about
this
how
gish galloping.
Hamas is actually putting hostages inside of hospitals. Hamas is actually using tunnel systems under hospitals.
Yeah,
and that is part of the reason why Israel is bombing hospitals.
Yeah.
Bombing hospitals is a war crime. Okay? Bombing hospitals is a war crime. In your conversation with Sam Cedar, while on the one hand, you now recognize that Israel's doing a genocide, and you have in the past as well, for sure, but you've also gone back and forth on it, and you've called it a war or whatever. But having said that, in your conversation with Sam Cedar, you thought you had a gotcha where you said that, well, I find it very strange that there's not a single bomb shelter in Gaza.
That's a condemnation of Hamas.
Yeah.
What?
That is a condemnation of Hamas.
I think it's a condemnation of your assessment of reality.
How is that pro-Zion?
What's the Geneva Convention say about hospitals? States which parties to a conflict shall provide all civilian hospitals with certificates showing that they are civilian hospitals and that the buildings which they occupy are not used for any purpose which would deprive these hospitals of protection in accordance with Article 19. Oh, wait. So using it for military purpose would deprive it of protection and then subject it to a proportionality analysis. Interesting. This is, by the way, why generally, not always, but generally Israel would raid hospitals rather than bomb them, because you still have to think about the patients who are inside and everything like that. But you also have to remember that, like, you can't, what is this principle? You think just because you're in a hospital, like, you get a free pass? Like, what a precedent. If the Geneva Convention actually said what Hasan just implied there, that even if there are tunnels, it's still a war crime to bomb them or to attack them, that's like saying, okay, so what if every army just keeps their weapons close enough to sick people, then they're fair game? They just leave them alone? Let them do what they want? Fuck off.
The Gaza Strip.
How is me criticizing Hamas pro-Zionist? Would you like to explain that?
Do you think a bomb shelter would actually survive bunker buster bombs?
It'd be a lot fucking
if they used a bunker buster to target a bomb shelter, that would be the most unequivocal airstrike war crime you've ever found in your life. If there are civilian bomb shelters, the point in a bomb shelter is not to protect yourself from a direct hit. It's supposed to protect you from damage that's happening to buildings around you. That's what's from, like, the actual targets. It's supposed to distinguish the protected spaces from the targetable spaces. The problem is that all of the protected spaces in Gaza seem to get used by Hamas. Like, they use hospitals, they use universities, they use schools. The tunnels, which are technically bomb shelters, they get used by Hamas, but not by civilians.
Safer than the 7th floor of an apartment building.
For Israel to actually systematically destroy every
okay
hospital.
With Hamas?
Every bomb is a bunker buster, according to Hasan. Yeah, I know. That's the same building. Have you seen the explosions from the bombing of the Nasrallah's building? That's a bunker buster. Bunker busters are fucking enormous, but yeah, okay.
The totality.
A bomb shelter would
Can I
just
ask you a
simply
question?
be fucking crosshairs.
Can I please ask you a question? Again, me criticizing Hamas makes me a Zionist?
Uh-oh.
You criticizing Hamas makes you a Zionist?
That's what you're claiming.
I mean, it depends on how. It depends on what you're saying.
Depends on
how. You know exactly what I said.
You can have criticisms of Hamas in terms of like
Holy
their
shit.
own internal domestic affairs, in terms of their governance.
Oh
but
my
if that's your
fucking
hyper focus,
God.
then yes, people are going to make that
Their domestic affairs. Is he going to defend their actions on October 7th? Is he going to defend the second Intifada, the suicide bombings? Holy shit. He did this with the fucking protester. With the protesters. He actually made it sound like they were protesting against domestic issues. Is he really going to expose himself like this? Because Hasan generally just kind of pussyfoots around Hamas because I guess he knew that October 7th was very, very indefensible. Is he going to... What the fuck? Their domestic policy. Is that what... Where are the protesters? Holy shit. The new leader... Stop! I don't remember where it was. Whoops.
Inference that you are.
If anyone has that clip of me freaking out over... It's either... Fuck! Over Hasan's like bullshit about the protesters.
Definitely against... Because any kind of resistance against the state of Israel.
Because they don't make bomb shelters?
Because your expectation...
Because they don't make bomb shelters?
from the Palestinians is to just simply sit there and take it so you can fucking act like you felt bad 10 years down the line.
Everything that you claim The whole fucking apparatus of harassment that exists across social media with you at the center of it, it infringes on an inference that you maybe meant this. I have never once said I'm Zionist. The only reason people believe that is because you repeat it maliciously
No, the reason why
time
people
and time
believe that
again.
is because of your hyper-focus
Name
on
one.
you, and your distractions
That makes me a Zionist?
away,
That
and
makes
your
me a Zionist?
deliberate deplatforming attempts towards pro-Palestinian content creators. It
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Being
Pro Hamas creators. Sorry, different thing.
Sign doesn't absolve you of guilt.
You recognize the genocide, but you also literally get mad at people who fight back. You get
So
mad
I'm
at the
public
Houthis.
enemy
You
number
call
one.
them terrorists. You
They
call
are.
Defending
Hezbollah a
myself.
terror group, which is by the American state's definition absolutely considered a terror group. But there are plenty of terror groups that have
Hold on. Do you not
successfully
consider Hezbollah a
resisted
terror group?
against
Oh my God.
American imperialism and other
Do you
forms
not
of settler
consider
colonial violence?
Do you not
He's
consider
just fucking rambling now, isn't he? He's like, you can tell it. Okay.
Hezbollah
On a
a
soapbox.
terrorist group?
I think the definition of terrorism by the American State Department is intentionally vague to deny
What about
people
the-
their habeas corpus. Deny
We're not
people-
asking about the U.S. Ethan doesn't describe people as terrorists because of the fucking American designation. He doesn't think Mandela's a terrorist, even though the U.S. did designate him as one. Why does he just keep trying to go for the fucking easy? Ugh.
their due process. It is there to justify whatever kind of militant action that the American government can take. This is a severe violation of the
Okay,
American
very good.
Constitution. So
Hassan,
yes,
please,
I
wanna
think
have a-
that this
Can
definition
you-
is
can I give you-
intentionally
can I
vague and
ask-
it's
can I
fucking-
request something?
is silly.
Can I please request something? I'm interested in having a conversation. You take this and you just go on and on and on and on. You repeat yourself. You double down on the same point. I just want to have a conversation. You make your point and then you move on. You're doing too much. Please. We're going to be
The
here.
American terrorism designation is silly. Do we agree?
I don't know. But do you,
What do you mean? But you,
well, here, I'll be
but
more
you
precise.
use its definition without
No,
ever actually
You're
thinking
right.
about
Fuck
it. What do you
Let
mean?
me be more precise. Here's what you said.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do we like them or no?
They are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated.
Oh, I think it's this one. Fuck. Wrong thing. That's what it says.
They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well, like
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say.
What did you mean by that? You do not have an issue with Hezbollah.
Okay, Leah, thank you for asking.
All right, let's see. Do you think these guys are protesting because of fucking tax rates? What was it? This is the protest in Gaza.
Don't give a shit. Disgusting.
right.
People that live in Gaza, those people will talk about this cynically, and it's disgusting. The reality is that Palestinians have a right to do whatever the fuck they want in terms of political protest, in terms of saying fuck Hamas if they choose to do so. I will never turn around and fucking tell them like, how dare you speak out against Hamas? I don't give a shit.
No, you won't. You'll just massage their entire messaging and ignore what exactly they're saying. Okay. Yeah.
Okay? The fuck do you mean? I want Palestinians to be rid of the occupation so they can choose whoever they see fit to rule over them in a democratic process. That is the dream. If they choose Hamas, then that's one thing. If they choose someone else, then that's great. Fantastic. I don't care. I just want an end to the genocide. Okay? Can the same argument apply to anti-BB protests? Sure. I mean, I've talked about the anti-BB protests, and I've also talked about the secondary. It's ironic because it's exactly the same. A lot of the anti-BB protests, for example, don't actually want a fucking end to the full-scale ethnic cleansing operations. They just want their hostage family members back. They want the bombing to continue, but they just want the bombing to stop for the interim so they can pull out the fucking hostages. They certainly don't want an end to the occupation. And the same goes for the fucking anti-Hamas protesters. They want an end to the occupation more than anything else. They want an end to the occupation more than anything else. They don't like Hamas's governance. Okay, they might falsely believe that Israel will
He said this like a couple of months ago. He thought the anti-Hamas protesters who were calling for white flag, stop gambling with our lives, Hamas are terrorists. He just tried to say that they were. What, like upset with Hamas's domestic fucking policy? It's so stupid. The tax codes. He just lied about what the protesters were saying. You can look at their chants and you can look at the statements from some of the elders. They were not saying that. They were not saying that at all. Anyway.
Exactly. All right.
I don't know. But do you,
What do you mean? But you,
well, here, I'll be
but
more
you
precise.
use its definition without
No,
ever actually
You're
thinking
right. Fuck
about it. What do you
Let
mean?
me be more precise. Here's what you said.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do we like them or no?
They are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well, like
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say.
What did you mean by that? You do not have an issue with Hezbollah.
Okay, Leah, thank you for asking.
You're
Exactly.
welcome.
All right, let me explain. I do not have a single issue with the way that Hezbollah has defended southern Lebanon.
Me neither,
I do not
actually.
have a single issue with Hezbollah as a form of militancy trying to incur penalties on the genocidal state of Israel. Because if you recognize that it is a genocide,
Hasan, you fucking spoiled, pampered, professional fucking illiterate moron. Like, why did Israel stay? First of all, Israel left southern Lebanon in 2000. Hezbollah kept on attacking Israel. They kept on crossing the border. They kept on kidnapping people. And then they got a bunch of prisoners back in one exchange. By the time but then they continued. They continued launching operations. In 2006, when Hezbollah launched that operation where they killed 8 soldiers, kidnapped 2, and that's how the 2006 war started, Hezbollah were told again and again and again, if they kept doing this, there would be an attack. There would be an Israeli response. Hezbollah continued to kidnap people and to continue to attack across the Lebanon-Israel border because they wanted 3 prisoners back, one of whom we're not even sure if they've been alive for decades. Hezbollah just assumed they were. And the other 2 were mass murders. No, one other was a mass murderer, and the other one was a guy who was in jail for spying on Hezbollah's behalf within Israel, and he had 2 years left in his sentence. Hezbollah launched a cross-border attack on Israel for a mass murderer who was in prison and a spy who was serving 2 more years of a sentence. They invited Israel to come to Lebanon for a war. That's what they did. They gave them a casus belli. Now, after October 7th, they fired rockets at Israeli soldiers and then also at Israeli civilian communities. That to the point that between 50 and 100,000 Israelis had to fucking leave their homes because of so many rockets and drones firing over them. Anti-tank missiles fired at houses. How is that defending Lebanon? Now that Hezbollah are fucking ruined, they're absolutely in tatters. They're not getting any arms from Syria anymore. And Israel withdrew. Israel pulled back. Israel's presence in Lebanon, even though Hezbollah are not there to defend Lebanon, not anymore. Israel is in 5 hilltops in southern Lebanon. Those civilians were not expanding. Satnav, no. What Israeli civilians were expanding into southern Lebanon? Zero. What Israeli civilian? Israel has never even built a settlement in Lebanon, as far as I know. They have 5 military outposts on hilltops right next to the border right now. That's it. Not to mention what Hezbollah did in Syria in the name of anti-Zionism, I guess, was to go in there and help their fucking arms shipment buddy, Bashar al-Assad.
Keep up the great work.
Thanks for the
Proud of you.
49.99, Joan. I really appreciate that. Wow. Yeah. Hezbollah spent the best part of 15 years fighting Israel sometimes. They spent most of their time fighting with Syrians. They spent most of their time fighting with fucking Syrians who were rising up against Assad. They helped Assad stay in power as he murdered more Arabs than have been killed in the entire Israel-Palestine conflict. I think the civilian death toll in Syria was at least 300,000 in that war. Between 85 and 90% of which were caused by Assad and his allies. No issue with them. He's literally supporting people who have killed far more Arabs than they've killed Israelis. Hezbollah's not done shit to Israel. They displaced tens of thousands of people from the north in exchange for what? What does Lebanon look like right now? 1 million plus displaced? Houses destroyed? Their fucking pagers blew up? And what did they accomplish? They said that their only reason for attacking Israel was to get a unilateral ceasefire in Gaza. And it didn't happen. Hezbollah surrendered and accepted the ceasefire terms in Lebanon before the ceasefire in Gaza. They gave up that red line. They gave it up. They went there for one reason, and they gave it up and ceased fire with Israel prematurely because they were getting so fucking rolled by the IDF. Pathetic. And you support this because what? What's it supposed to do? What is bombing mixed communities, by the way? The communities in northern Israel are mixed. There are large Arab populations in northern Israel, not to mention Druze. And you celebrate that? Why? Why?
then what is the expectation from other parties involved in the region? The very fact that other countries, other countries are not also up in arms is ridiculous, considering that Israel is a belligerent force that is destroying everything in the fucking region because it has an underlying exterminationist policy. And you agree with that because it's a genocide. You said it's a genocide.
All right,
so what is
Hasan,
the expectation?
Please, this conversation is becoming impossible if you don't just stop talking for a minute and allow me to respond. Okay.
Now respond.
Thank you. Hezbollah, when it was first founded, I think was a noble thing, right, of defending Lebanon from the IDF invasion, and they were successful in sending them back to Israel. Now, since then, a lot of terrible.
It's probably okay. But I wouldn't say it was noble, but it probably would have been easier to get Israel out by not bombing American bases and kidnapping people and everything like that. I don't know. It's hard to say. Would Israel have left earlier had Hezbollah not been there? Don't know. Because one of the reasons Israel stayed bogged down in the south of Lebanon was because they felt like if they withdrew unilaterally without securing the area, then they would just get a launch pad. If they want to take responsibility for pushing the Israelis out prematurely, fine. I can give them that. But yeah, that's why domestically as well, and this is why they've been fucked up in the elections, and the new Lebanese president is anti-Hezbollah. The reason they've lost so much of their power now is because they can't sell themselves as defenders of Lebanon anymore. They haven't been able to sell that reputation for 20 years now. Because in 2006, they were the reason Israel came into Lebanon again. And for the last decade and a half, they've been the people who sent their soldiers to fight in Syria, to kill Sunnis who are opposing Assad. If it's just the Lebanese army now, why the attack in Beirut? Because it's not still the Lebanese army. The attack in Beirut was in Dahia. Hezbollah are not gone. They're still violating ceasefire terms by trying to reassemble their military. And the ceasefire terms do say that Israel can strike. They're allowed to strike if they see a violation that's not being dealt with by the army. So,
Shit has happened, right? And you sat there and you said, I do not have a problem with them. So do you not have a problem with what Hezbollah did in Syria, mass murdering civilians on the behest of Assad?
Can you find a single instance where I've actually said I have no problem with Hezbollah's actions in Syria?
You said I don't have a problem with them in general. To a normie who doesn't know any better, like,
don't have a problem with Hezbollah.
No. That specifically.
You know what's so funny?
Do you feel like that is the entirety of my conversation? Because I have talked about Hezbollah's actions in Syria, as a matter of fact, and I do have a problem with that.
You're precise with your words, right?
I don't think that harming civilians is in any way, shape, or form remotely correct. Now, having said that, I'm glad that you brought up Hezbollah because, again, in your video, you falsely claim that Hezbollah is responsible for 500,000 deaths in the Syrian conflict.
Yeah.
Okay? You say that Hezbollah...
They provided crucial aid to the Syrian army. Hezbollah were not just a bunch of fucking ragtag troops added on to the Syrian Arab forces. The Syrian Arab army was in a fucking state. They were miserably undertrained, undisciplined, equipped in terms of logistics and intelligence. Hezbollah went in there with the military experience that they did have from fighting with the Israelis and plugged very important logistical and disciplinary gaps so that Assad it's arguable whether or not, like, I don't know if it's determined, but you could argue that even Assad might have lost very early on had it not been for Hezbollah. They made a crucial difference.
Is responsible for 500,000 deaths in the Syrian conflict. That is the entirety of the deaths, including the Hezbollah militancy in the Syrian civil war.
No, it's not. The Syrian civil war death toll is like over 600,000. And most organizations agree that around 85 to 90% of those deaths were caused by Assad and his allies. So Hassan just lied there. Whoops.
For what? They did nothing wrong?
No. That's not what I'm saying.
So what does it matter the exact count? Why does that bother you?
You claimed that they were responsible for all the deaths. You stood in front
they collaborated.
of footage. You stood in front of footage of an entire town that was destroyed by what? By barrel bombs. Who has the capacity to have a air force and use barrel bombs to destroy an entire city? Do you think Hezbollah has an
The
air
guys that Hezbollah was helping. What? Assad, who was Hezbollah's ally, is Hassan going to say that the IDF didn't do doesn't have responsibility for Sabra Shatila? It's always that. Hassan would probably fuck me.
Anticipated. You're not listening. You're being silly.
Is that why you posted that photo?
Why are you defending Hezbollah's action in Syria? Do you think that's a good look?
I'm not defending that. I'm not
sure
defending
are. You're like, Hezbollah didn't do that. Hezbollah would never blow up a village in Syria.
Do you think Hezbollah has an air force?
Do you think I think that?
Well, you implied it when you showed a hollowed out town that was barrel bombed.
They worked
most likely
with
by Russian
the government,
forces.
bro.
So why?
Does Hassan think that the only weapon that was used on an entire town was barrel bombs? What the fuck? You know, usually after barrel bombing a place, they send ground troops in. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? He's just stupid.
Why did you use that imagery to imply that Hezbollah had killed 500,000 people?
They were complicit.
That is a false. This is my main problem with you, Ethan. You are spreading.
You're defending terrorism
falsehoods
right now, by the way.
What?
You are defending a terrorism right now.
No, dude, I'm defending the truth. How is this so hard to comprehend for you?
The truth is Hezbollah did in Syria wasn't that bad?
They did not kill 500,000 people.
Okay, so it wasn't that bad?
Ethan.
So what
Yeah, but they allied with the people who did. Yeah, they assisted and they provided very crucial support to them. They almost saved, they more or less saved them. Yeah, fuck.
Hezbollah did in Syria wasn't that bad? How many did they kill?
Assad regime. You're
minimizing their actions. How many did they kill?
You're taking the responsibility away from ISIS. You're taking the responsibility away from the Russian.
The overwhelming majority of deaths in the Syrian civil war were caused by Assad and his allies. And one of Assad's allies, even up at the military command position, was Hezbollah.
I'm putting blame on Hezbollah where it belongs. How many did they kill?
I don't even know the exact number of how many they killed. I believe it's like around 2,000 to 5,000, which once again is inappropriate. I have no issue.
Did they collaborate with Assad?
They did. Yes, they did. They did.
And so what is the issue here exactly? You said you have no issue with them. I think that's a problem.
I think I've described it numerous times at this point.
2,000 to 5,000 I think that's the number of Hezbollah operatives who died in Syria, isn't it? I don't think we actually know exactly how many people were killed by Hezbollah versus by Syria, but inappropriate. Holy shit.
I have no issue with Hezbollah's militancy against a state that is conducting a genocide. That much is very clear.
You didn't say any of that. You said I do not have a problem with
that. Yeah, so why does he try to hold two positions at once? This fucking lying, slimy... Ethan needs to get him with this. Ethan needs to be like, you keep saying you oppose attacking civilians. Hezbollah targeted Israeli civilian towns. Some of these houses and buildings along the northern border, these were civilian towns. They were hit by drones, by anti-tank missiles.
Talked about.
You're lying.
As a matter of fact, there are plenty of instances where I have talked about Hezbollah's militancy in Syria.
When you're done lying, I'll explain.
Wait, what?
When you're done lying, I'll explain. You didn't say
I'm
that.
not.
You said
I'm lying.
You said
I'm
I don't. You were talking to a normie.
Right now.
You were talking to a normie who didn't understand anything about the conflict, and he said, "How do we feel about Hezbollah?" A general question. How do we feel about Hezbollah? Your answer was, "We don't. I don't have a problem with them. Let's just say." And then, by the way, Hasan, you start trying to minimize their inclusion in this fucking wanton slaughter of Syrian civilians.
Wait, what? I'm minimizing their inclusion of the wanton slaughter.
Here's what you said because you want to be precise.
You made up
like them,
I
like what you like.
Ethan,
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just
said that they killed 500,000 civilians. What are you talking about? I did not minimize their wanton slaughter.
What did he actually say in the Content Nuke? Hang on. I know he misquoted the death numbers on the podcast. What did he actually say about in the Content Nuke? I don't remember. He plays it. Okay.
in the Syrian civil
do
war.
you think that they didn't participate with Assad to make that happen? I mean, they were allied.
They did.
Participate. Okay, so then why are you defending them?
They were also crucial allies, though. They were very instrumental in strengthening and consolidating the Syrian army. They weren't just like little sidekicks there for the ride. No, these were seasoned soldiers who took a shit army and made them competent.
I'm not defending
sure
them,
sounds like
Ethan.
it.
I have already described to you that I am critical of their actions. You are misquoting
Constructive criticism,
me.
eh?
You are
I
misunderstanding.
am verbatim repeating what you said, you
and I'm having a
liar.
conversation directly with you, so I don't understand.
How can
I
you
love
lie?
this as well. You can Hasan is so fucking retarded. Like you can literally just murder fucking Arabs all over the Middle East with total impunity, and Hasan will just give you a fucking I'm not so sure about that. Hasan will just fucking let you get away with it because you occasionally fire rockets against Israel as well. Yeah, because you throw some fucking pot shots at Israeli towns. Because you destroy a few Israeli border towns. As long as you do that, then you've basically got fucking carte blanche to massacre as many Syrians, Lebanons, Iraqis as you want. Yeah, fuck. Bearing in mind that that's Hezbollah's only talent. The only thing they were ever good at was killing Syrians and Lebanese people and people in Iraq. They were never all that good at fighting with Israel, like compared to their exploits elsewhere.
People like we just watched the clip.
The arbitrary number that you put there because you don't do enough research.
No, that number was based on the totality of deaths. My claim was that they participated in it. You were not critical of their actions in this clip.
Why did you put so you're telling me you've never claimed that Hezbollah has killed more Muslims than Israel has, that IDF has?
The Axis has, though. I think he did say this with Hezbollah. Oh fuck! I wish he would recognize. Oh god. If he says, "Okay, I was wrong about that," do you disagree that the Axis has killed more Arabs than Israel has? Because they have. The Axis of Resistance has easily killed more Arabs than Israel has. Even though it's apparently Israel who are the exterminationists.
I don't know when I think I did say that, and I think that was wrong. I was incorrect.
Yeah, you said that numerous times. You actually said you ChatGPT'd against AB when AB was like, I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, by the way, I that's something I looked into, and I was actually wrong about that for sure.
Okay, don't you feel like this kind of misinformation is somewhat? Don't you think that saying stuff like that is going to make people infer that you might be more pro-Israel than you let on?
What does that have to do with being pro-Israel? Like, what does that have to do? But what, saying that Hezbollah killed more Syrians than they actually did? What does that have to do with being pro-Israel? How? What the fuck do dead Syrians have to do with Israel? Like dead Syrians killed by Assad and Hezbollah. What do they have to do with? What does that have to do with Israel?
Yeah,
because it doesn't.
You mean I'm Zionist?
Work like this, right? You're not just like clicking a box and you're like, well, I said it was a genocide. What more do you want from me? Okay, you did, but then you spend all of your time criticizing
responding
people
to harassment
who are offering analysis and not justification.
Can I flip it on you a little bit?
Are actually formed. You're upset.
Hassan, you're doing it. You're doing it again.
I'm not doing anything. I'm
talking,
hoping
bro.
to explain to you something so you recognize that you're wrong, as you've done twice now.
No, you don't need to explain anything to me. I understand
now.
your point. Don't you? So you're accusing me of being irresponsible with my words. Don't you think saying you have no issue with Hezbollah makes people think you're pro-terrorist?
I don't care that people think this. It's
specify. It makes people think that you're okay with what they did in Syria because that's been the majority of their military action for the last 15 years.
Ridiculous.
So are people valid for thinking you're pro-terrorist?
Do you believe the State Department's designation for
Answer the
terrorism
question.
is valid?
Is it reasonable for people to think that you are pro-terrorist when you say I have no problem with Hezbollah?
Do you believe the State Department's designation for terrorism is valid?
You answer my question, and I'll answer yours. Are people valid?
Ethan,
and considering
you rely heavily on your audience not really understanding the
answer my
terms
question?
that you are using.
Let it be noted you are dodging.
When you say,
relying on the ignorance of your audience, never happened here. By the way, you need a criminal conviction before I believe a rape happened in a fucking armed conflict. Oh God.
Terrorists Okay.
Literally
There's
just
a reason
did.
why you say that. You say that to
You literally just
disparage
did.
me without actually addressing my arguments. And now when you're faced with me face to face to
God, bro,
talk
you're
about
doing it
these
again.
issues, you agree with me. So if you agree with me, you called Hezbollah a noble group. Should I
In the
just run
beginning,
around
shit
being like
changed.
Ethan defends terrorism?
He said he specified though with the goal of them getting Israel out of Lebanon. He specified. You didn't specify, Hasan. You said I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say. But I'm just going to expect people to believe that when I say I don't have an issue with them, I'm actually just ignoring the main thing that they've been doing militarily for the last 15 years. I don't have an issue with them, you know? Oh, no, I do. No, but I mean, I say that, but I actually do have an issue with, like, pretty much pretty much all of their military activity for the last 15 years, barring, like, a very failed attack on Israel after October 7th. Fuck me.
Well, I think you do, but
I
for a
said their
different reason,
actions
and we'll
were
get to
noble.
that
I
in a
didn't call
second.
them a noble group. Again, you have a problem with the truth.
You just said that their
I said their
inception was
actions
a
were noble.
noble one.
Yeah.
You said Hezbollah was.
It's different from saying Hezbollah is a noble organization. But I really need you to answer this. Isn't it reasonable for people to assume you're pro-terrorist if you say stuff like, I have no problem with Hezbollah? Just answer the question, yes or no.
I don't think it's reasonable for people to assume that I'm pro-terrorism because I think people are going to assume that regardless because I am.
But people can assume I'm
presenting a
Zionist.
position.
But it's okay for
What?
it's okay for people to assume I'm Zionist.
Yes.
Got it. The logic is
you don't
clear.
understand what I'm saying. I get why people assume that. I get why people assume
I get why
I'm
people
a
assume you're
fucking
pro-terrorist.
Yeah. Do you feel okay? Let's talk about that then. Do you feel like someone being branded pro-terrorist is as impactful under the Trump administration as someone being pro-Israel is?
Well, as someone who's been branded as a pro-Israel Zionist in my space, it is a horrifically fucking it's resulted in the unbelievable, unprecedented. I've been on the internet for 10 years, right? I've been through all kinds of controversies, all kinds of shit. I have never once in my entire life, Hasan, experienced the amount of harassment, the organized, psychotic campaign to try to ruin my life, all of my all my employees' life, my family's life, their family's life. This is your community acting in response to what you're saying about me being pro-Zionist. So do I think it's worse? In my experience, it's much worse.
My community that's done any of these things that you're talking about.
Okay, Hasan, can I ask you a question? Why the fuck were you browsing H3 Snark the other day and pulling clips from that?
Drama.
I don't know. Someone fucking sent me a clip in the chat.
Okay.
Well,
And
I
so
don't
you
know.
shit
I don't
and
know.
pissed about me pulling a meme from Destiny's subreddit. I have
Ethan,
never even
look
pulled
to
the
your-
subreddit up, but you're on stream browsing H3 Snark. How do you explain that?
Ethan, your entire subreddit is a snark subreddit dedicated to me. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's literally not true.
I
but-
I don't have a single issue at this point. What are you talking about? You have personally moderated your own subreddit to turn into this, by the way.
What?
So many people that
Again,
have
you're
criticized you from your own fan base have
Hasan,
left your
you
community
said your
for this
community has
reason,
nothing to
because
do
you
with
can't take a
this.
fucking ounce of
He
criticism
went on Snark after the debate ended. Brilliant.
from your paying members. How many people are like, I love Teddy Fresh. I have so many fucking pieces of Teddy Fresh clothing. Now I feel embarrassed to wear it because look at what he has become.
There's plenty of fans.
This is
Don't
at
worry
the heart
about
of this
that.
problem. If you want to talk about it, from the perspective of psychoanalysis,
No,
the real reason why
Hassan,
you've gone on
you
this
are
endless
lying.
vendetta
You
is
said-
because you can't comprehend
Jesus
the
Christ,
reality.
bro. I just want to have a
that your
conversation. I don't want to
your
Why is
own
this
audience
unfolding
you've
so hard? What the
cultivated
fuck?
has a difference in opinion in the way that you've presented yourself throughout this
Hasan,
conflict.
please
And if
let me
you
just talk.
demonstrated-
This is you say
if
your
you
your
demonstrated
community has nothing to do
affection-
with the harassment that I've received.
Ethan, if you
Someone
demonstrated-
please,
Ethan,
Hasan, let me finish a
listen to
point.
me. If you
Hey,
demonstrated
dude, you gotta let me
fraction-
finish a
I'm just-
point. This
I'm
is
gonna mute
ridiculous.
you. I'm gonna mute you and just keep talking. if you
Okay,
keep
that's
doing this.
great.
I'm gonna
I think
mute
that
you.
means you won the debate.
Yeah.
Holy
No.
shit.
Listen to me.
So I'm
What
not
is this
muted.
crash out?
Hold on, let me
This is a mentally ill crash out section.
Of the
finish.
humility.
You gotta let me say something.
If you demonstrated a fraction of the humility you did just
You've
now,
got
most people would
to
not
let
have
me
left your
say
community, by the
something.
way.
I don't care that they left the community. That was obvious.
You definitely do.
I've got plenty of fans left. Don't worry. Here, listen. You claim your community has nothing to do with the harassment. Yet you said in the same breath that your chat linked you to H3 Snark, the subreddit primarily responsible for coordinating that harassment, and you pulled it up on your stream.
Do you have evidence that H3 Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say that?
Like random anonymous.
Did I say that?
Wait.
I said they're primarily responsible for harassing me.
Who called CPS?
What the fuck? So I don't know. Did I claim they did? You're dodging,
It's
bro.
so fucking obtuse, man. Oh god. Who called CPS? It doesn't matter if no one called CPS. Who was the one that was spreading those fucking claims that would have resulted in someone wanting to call CPS? Oh, well, that was mainly Snark, Denims, BadEmmaPanda. They were the main three groups that were doing that.
You are absolutely dodging. You claim your community has nothing to do with the harassment, yet you are browsing H3 Snark. Now, let me ask you this, Hasan. How many times have I browsed the Destiny subreddit on my show?
Have blamed virtually everyone for calling CPS. Answer my question.
What?
So you don't know who called CPS, and yet for the past couple of months, you've been like, it's whoever I don't like that is called CPS.
No,
that's it. It's just a random, whoever I don't like. Definitely not the people who were spreading the claim. Definitely not the ones who were spreading the claim that he was abusing his kids. Very well done, Hasan. Wow, fucking hell. That's a JDAM logic right there.
You're claiming that my community is responsible for it.
I think it's the tone. No, bro, what is wrong with you? Did I say your community called CPS? The harassment campaign is much more broad than that.
Yes, you're inferring it.
You can't address an actual issue, so you turn it into you're straw manning, basically. I'm saying your community is responsible for this participating in this harassment campaign. You said chat sent you this link, did they not?
Yes, last week. What are you talking about?
Okay,
what?
So your chat is involved with H3 Snark, which, by the way, funnily enough, the new Snark page is called Leftovers H3, and it's got a picture of you in the avatar.
Giving it a shout out. Shout out to Leftovers H3.
It's got a picture of you, Hasan. You don't need to shout him out. You're already doing it. Don't you think that's odd?
You did it.
No, I think it's.
Also, what do you think? Like you. First of all, do you think I have any say on what fucking happens in these
I have no
subreddits?
control over
What are you talking about?
You have to say what happens in your Discord and chat, which you absolutely do not moderate. And there's so much evidence of the disgusting shit.
That's also completely fucking
Well,
false.
why did you criticize XQC for not moderating his chat when you called in?
Ethan?
Why
I can't believe you
did you criticize XQC for not moderating his chat?
Yes, XQC has actively used this community over the course of many years.
Is he just coming here with like no fucking evidence? Has Hasan provided like screenshots or anything for the claims that he's saying? Jesus.
Point as he was, doing Gamba and wanted to fucking keep gambling and felt bad that I was criticizing him to attack me. Okay, there's a difference between
that's different than what your community has done. How?
What?
How is that different than your community attacking me?
You want to know how it's different? I have an 8-minute clip compilation all the way from when our podcast ended all the way to December of 2024 where I actively defend you. That is moderating
bro,
my community.
I do not give a fuck about your quote-unquote defending as your community went rabid with your approval. Please spare me.
With my approval? I just told you.
It's your community, bro. You literally say in this clip that it's let me play this clip for you because it will show just what a liar hypocrite you are.
Like you, big dog.
Spearhead the campaign.
Oh, they love you, huh?
What do you want me to do?
Fucking everybody loves Hasan. Everybody loves iDubbbz too.
Ethan,
my objective is not to be liked, Hasan. That might surprise you.
What can I do?
It might surprise you. My objective in life is not to be liked. Or I mean, it's not.
What can I do? By the way, so I just want to show you guys some really banger content, some really sophisticated work, some really fine material from a guy who these creators.
Get yourself a drink after this, Loner.
Yeah, I just want to show you guys
Much love from Michigan.
I want to show you guys this great creator. It's really informative. You should really, I want to really grow this guy's audience by putting them on my stream. They also dox and harass people, and I've acknowledged that a million times. And they're also kind of insane on the internet. But I think you should just watch them anyway. What can I do?
Specifically, be like that is not my objective. I know that's foreign to you.
Then why? Why are you bringing any of this up? People don't like you. I can't change that. Okay, there's plenty of people who don't like me either.
My whole career has been people not liking me, but I've never experienced this level of harassment. You are unwilling to contend or concede at any point that you are.
Because I'm not responsible for it. Here, play this video, Dan. Here you go.
Anyway, it's not about being liked either. It's about harassment, bro.
Go ahead. Show your audience because you've been saying that I've been like
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
I sent it.
Are you?
It's embarrassing.
Sorry, hold on. Dan is in the
way you behave now. Ugh.
Dan is in the bathroom, so hold on. You okay?
My argument with you in that conversation where I said there's not anything I can do was literally because of the way you were presenting yourself. In the conversation that we had, you inferred that JVP was akin to capos. You said that from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
I'm not gonna
He didn't. He just said that you shouldn't use JVP as the representatives of Jewish opinion because they are not. JVP is not representatives of Jewish opinion. They are the opposite of representatives of Jewish opinion. They represent very small minority opinion.
An extermination again, another pathetic that terrifies Jewish
lie.
people.
Holy shit.
You literally fucking posted about a pro-Palestinian dude on Twitter saying that he would be thrown off of roofs like fucking Hamas is ISIS. If you say all of that,
Hamas does throw people off rooftops, you fucking liar. Hamas does do that. They've done that with fucking Fatah. Like in
walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. Most people are gonna not think that you're a chicken. They're gonna think you're a duck.
Okay. I'm not going to get sunlocked by these insane accusations. I never called them capos. That's what you said. That's part of the harassment campaign. You put those words in my mouth, and now it's something that I still hear. I have never called them capos.
Wait. So you haven't, as recently as a month ago, still called them token Jews and that they are completely off base with the rest of the
Is that the same as capos?
Of the movement.
They are off base with the rest of the diaspora Jews. Of course they are. What does Hasan think that Jewish Voice for Peace represents like anything close to a majority Jewish opinion? Like, what the fuck?
Do you have a problem with like levels? It's all or nothing. Is calling someone a
Hello, Sev?
Hello, I just want to say something about JVP. From what I've heard or what I've seen, do you know those people that have like 2% Ashkenazi Jewish on their DNA test?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or someone with like one grandparent or some shit, yeah.
Yeah, no, even one grandparent is still like sometimes valid, but they have like 2% with no known ancestry to their like Jewishness that they saw on a DNA test. So a lot of these GVP Jews turn out to be like a person that did a DNA test and saw they had 2% Jewish, and then they start claiming their Jewishness while advocating against Israel. That's pretty much.
I mean, they say they have like over 750,000 members, but it's like.
Yeah, and it's safe to assume like 7,000 of them.
Like you can join JVP,
and it's safe to assume.
Easily,
It's safe to assume 7,000 of those are people that aren't really Jewish.
Is this really how you join JVP? You just pay a membership?
Probably. But they're not really Jewish Voices for Peace if they're not Jewish, so that like. But that's why they claim the 2%.
Okay.
Oh yeah, fuck, bro. One of the fucking crazy shit I heard from GVP is that you shouldn't pray in Hebrew because it triggers Palestinians.
I know,
or
yeah,
Arabs.
it's ridiculous. Like they have no fucking understanding or care for what anyone in the region thinks or believes. Yeah, it's stupid. Like Jews were praying in Hebrew long before the state of Israel. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Like you can't pray in Hebrew. Imagine going to an Arab in like fucking Middle Europe or whatever, America, and be like, hey, sorry, can't pray in your language. It'll scare us. It's fucking disgusting and weird.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and also a lot of the shit. Everyone in chat starting to like point out weird shit about them and their weirdness around being Jews. Like a lot of them don't know Hebrew, barely know any Hebrew. Like it's very rare that they know any Jewish customs or like a bunch of shit. Like I think they've celebrated some Jewish holidays on campuses wrong as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a joke. Like even if they were all Jewish though, they don't represent anywhere close to the majority Jewish opinion on Israel.
Yeah, but that's the thing. 7,500. When you hear how many people are Jewish Voices for Peace, and then you hear 7,500.
Well, 750,000. It's 750,000. Yeah, there's no fucking way. Most of these members are not Jews.
You'd be like, oh my god,
100%,
that's a lot of people. Oh my god, that's a lot of people. And the group is called Jewish Voices for Peace. It's just, people aren't gonna delve into further than that. They're like, 750,000 people, and then they're like, it's Jewish Voices for Peace. They're gonna assume they're Jewish, even if they don't look further.
Yeah, but that's what Hasan does, though. He goes to all these different ethnic groups and countries and just finds the most niche, like represents 1% of the population, communist, fucking pro Hamas.
But that's the thing; they're not even 1%. They're not even a part of that percentage. None of them are barely anyone in that group is Jewish. Barely anybody.
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem I'm pointing out. He's referring to a group that doesn't have any Jews. Like maybe it has one or two, but like they don't have any Jews. That's
I mean,
the
they will.
problem
Like
with
there
this
will
stupid
be
group.
Jews who just like
There-
are not,
absolutely
like,
there
generally
is, but
people who
even-
are not like raised
No, okay.
in the way or like learning about the culture and the history and all that. Because again, like if
I
you learn,
agree.
all you need to know is like the most basic Jewish history to understand why like people might sympathize with Israel existing. Like it's so
Listen,
simple. But you know,
I know some of the most insane anti-Israel Jews that live in Israel. The most insane, like very insane opinions. You would consider them like pro-Hamas at some points from the shit they say. They still think JVP is like the dumbest shit ever. They who like are probably they're willing to fucking side with Hamas over JVP. That's how much all these people hate JVP, and they fucking don't think they're Jewish. Yeah, JVP is
some
I don't
weird
think
friends you're
JVP
hanging
is
out with, but okay.
Hey, listen, it's only one guy, all right? He's
Okay.
insane, but it's one guy.
Cool.
He's dialed down. Anyway,
We'll
have
say hello
fun.
from me. All right, take care, buddy. Bye.
I offered for you to speak to him. You said no.
Did I? I'll
Yeah,
change
I
that.
told you,
right?
communist friend. I told you, communist friend in Israel. You said no.
Oh, I'll change my mind. Why would I say no? Fuck, silly.
I'm probably not on stream because a lot of Israelis would probably go for him. So no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Well, take care, buddy. Bye bye. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Criticizing someone be a token the
would
same as
you-
calling them
Why
capos?
would you call Jews who are standing
Not
against
something he would
genocide,
ever
which
ask.
you also recognize as a genocide?
Can I play this? This is the
token
clip.
Jews
Here's what
that
you
are
said.
not representative of the broader movement.
Here's they're
Again, it's not because it's not just because they oppose the actions in Gaza. It's because they want Israel destroyed. That's the problem.
You also called Matt Lieb a capo.
Matt Lieb's a disgusting human being who platformed BadEmmaPanda, who's like you.
So you do have a problem. You do have a problem with
Matt Lieb specifically.
Jews
yes,
that you don't like, and you are quick
I have
to
a
call them
problem with
capos.
Matt Lieb, who's platforming BadEmmaPanda. Yes, clearly. Is there you don't like BadEmmaPanda? You understand? A year ago, you were talking about how
That's
crazy
true.
he was.
Hasan doesn't like BadEmmaPanda. He just sees him as a rabid fucking attack dog that he can utilize and just hope he can point in the direction of the people he doesn't like.
Yeah, but I'm not.
But suddenly, when he
Here's the
starts talking
difference.
about me,
Here's the
he's your
difference,
best friend.
Ethan.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think BadEmmaPanda is insane. But you know what I also
And all of a
always
sudden,
say?
you love his videos. Why is that?
BadEmmaPanda.
Why do you
and
love
I've
his
maintained
videos
this
suddenly?
position- I've
Before
maintained
you
this
pledged never to
position-
watch
Because he
his
attacks
videos
people
on
you don't
stream. Why
like.
do you love them now?
Because he attacks people he doesn't like. That's it.
Oh, because
Because
was.
Hasan is too incompetent to try and respond to attacks or criticisms from me or Destiny or Ethan or anyone else. Hasan's incompetent, so he needs someone else to hold his hand through all that shit for him. That's it. Even the Willie Mack video, like he wouldn't watch the Willie Mack video, but he would watch BadEmmaPanda reacting to it. Like he's such a coward. Like he's such an incompetent fucking loser that he has to literally get an insane person who wants all fucking Israelis dead to do his little dirty work for him because I guess the biggest left-wing Twitch streamer can't do it himself.
He did not want me reacting to his videos.
That is
Initially,
insane, pathetic, bold-faced
that's
lie.
what it is. No,
Wait, that's also BadEmmaPanda was in his Discord getting really fucking angry that Hasan wouldn't initially watch the video with me and Destiny. I have those Discord logs, just so you know, they're real. Like, I have those Discord logs saved if anyone wants them. Like, yeah, BadEmmaPanda was furious that Hasan wasn't watching his video about me and Destiny, and he was like literally getting people in his Discord to go and spam Hasan's chat to get him to watch it. Like, that's why he started watching it.
Oh, he said.
You literally told. Oh my god, dude.
I have.
Okay, first of all, let me play this clip of you criticizing XQC.
Okay, wait. You can't just like,
That's what you asked for it.
Actually,
hold on. You asked for this. Here's what you said.
Because it's not something
oh my
he would
god!
ever
Wait,
ask
I sent
for.
you a
And
clip.
all these
Why
other
aren't you playing
content
that one?
creators.
Actually,
watch.
you know, whipping their communities when
Whipping their
chat
communities.
is going fucking absolutely bananas over random dumb shit and bringing my name up for no fucking reason. That you were just allowing that shit to run rampant in your chat, and I thought that was fucked up. Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do, especially as someone who thought we were fucking friends. I think that's
We're
a
just exchanging memes now. Fucking.
reasonable expectation for someone who you consider to be a friend.
The problem wasn't that he was
Yeah,
pro-Palestine.
you have to show my clip now.
It makes sense.
Yeah, okay, no, great. Show my clip.
Sure.
Show my clip that I sent Dan.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, his real voice is coming back now.
There you go. I'm gonna pull it up for you. Oh yeah, TikTok. This is gonna be good. Ethan Klein debunked 7 minutes, bro. Hold on, I'm not gonna watch the 7-minute clip. What do you want me to watch?
7 minutes of it.
Okay, you think if I just play it from the beginning, they'll get the gist of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you'll get it.
All right.
And you can skip towards like the end too if you want, like
What
towards
the
the
By
middle.
fuck
way,
is this?
This has 1,000 likes, bro. Are you name searching yourself or
Watch
what?
my Chris Kunzler videos. Let's go. Watch Chris Kunzler next, please.
No, the person who made it sent it to me.
Oh, okay. Nice. I guess it's
What?
hard hitting.
Ethan is a mega Zionist. You are wrong. Okay. Trust
This
me.
is October
I don't
30th. You fucking idiot.
think
What
you
the
know. I don't think you know many Zionists if you think Ethan is a mega Zionist. Not even close, dude. Time and time
Funnily enough, that's still true.
again, I've spoken about how Ethan is not your enemy. A person who cries when a Palestinian child dies is not your enemy. Okay? He's not.
Wow.
I've said these exact words over and over again.
The problem is that your community is obviously an unhinged, and if you don't defend me, my community is going to get mad at you. It's definitely just an optics play, which, by the way, you never
Keep
stuck
playing.
to. You never.
Shut up. Keep playing.
fuck?
Let me guess.
Oh,
It's more
no.
videos of you defending me.
Mad.
Keep playing. Enough.
I told people in this community and people everywhere that will listen to what I have to say that you have to choose who you are actually angry at. There are people who are so loud and so proud about the ethnic cleansing campaign that Palestinians are experiencing currently. Go yell at them. He's been shitting on you on his members-only streams. I don't care. I don't care.
The problem with Hasan is that he basically primed his entire audience to believe that anyone who has any sympathy for Israel or anyone who condemns Hamas's actions too aggressively on October 7th, or anyone who spends their time going after people like Second Thought and Frogan and all that for literally glazing October 7th, Hasan primed his audience to believe people who say that are like bad, are like defending genocide or whatever. So the problem with Hasan is he tried to hold two positions at once. He's like, this person's fine, but this person is doing all the things that I would normally say is not fine. So yeah, Hasan trained his audience to do that.
Bro literally shot on you yesterday and his coworker for saying from the river to the sea, sorry, dog. I don't care. I
watched a minute of it. I really don't give a fuck what you said.
Keep going. No,
why? It's
Come
7
on, we've
minutes
watched a
long.
It's
lot
like
of
this,
your-
okay? It's like if you fucking train someone, if you train your little fucking dog to salivate at the smell of fucking incense or whatever, like, and you do that for 5 years, and then you bring in some incense that you actually like, oh, for some reason I like it now, and then you light it, and then the fucking dog starts salivating. Like, you're like, no, don't do that. Not for this one. Like, that's it. Like, Hasan trained his dogs, his chat, to hate people who talk like Ethan, to hate liberals, to think liberals, social democrats, people who don't want to destroy Israel, people who condemn Hamas. Like, Hasan trained his audience to think these people are Nazis. So when Ethan says a couple of these things, he can't just be like, make an exception for this guy. Hasan made an exception for Ethan because he's a clout chasing, like self-interested fucking loser. But even Hasan realized that, like, yeah, what he was saying to his audience about Israel-Palestine was incompatible to what he was saying to them about Ethan.
Spare
Keep
the
going.
audience.
This is about you. Go on.
What are we going to glean from watching longer?
Keep playing it. This is just November 1st.
Nah, I don't want to
Go to
finish
the
it.
middle.
I know what it is. You
Go
talk
to the
kindly
middle.
about. Okay, here, I'll go to the middle for you, okay?
You think I'm not moderating my fucking community?
You
think
absolutely
I'm
are
not trying
not.
to get people
No,
to stop yelling about you at that
okay,
point?
let me go to the middle so you can have your thing, and then
are.
we'll move on.
And it frustrates me to no fucking end. I've told you this time and time again in this time frame. Just like I kept telling you, Ethan is not your enemy over and over again. That's why I love iDubbbz, Ethan as well. People that have actually changed course, recognize their mistakes.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we get the idea. It's fine. You know what I mean? You're the best friend ever. By the way,
Whoa.
no, whoa.
I'm
My
never
turn.
gonna
Well, I
watch a
was
bad
no,
end.
yes. Whoa,
You were
whoa,
just
whoa.
screaming, play the video. You told me to
just said
shut
I wasn't
up.
moderating my
Hold
community
the
and
phone.
claiming that
You screamed to shut up and play the video. So I'm going to ask you to return the favor at this moment. You claimed that you
Okay,
didn't
go
watch.
ahead.
Here's what you said about BadEmmaPanda. You lied to me and said you don't watch his videos because he asked you not to. Magically, when he started talking about me, you became his biggest fan, and you watch his videos on your stream regularly, which has resulted in an explosion of his popularity. Here's what you said about him a year before this conflict.
Banana video on
Nice
the
shirt,
stream.
by the way.
I'm just letting you guys know. If you think I'm gonna fucking watch a YouTube essay from a dude literally openly antagonistic towards me watching fucking YouTube videos, you're out of your fucking mind, okay? You think I want him to write like 700 hours worth of new YouTube essays about how I have wronged him? I don't want that. I don't want that at all, okay?
Day genocide propaganda will come.
Wait,
thanks for watching.
That's in the clip,
Free
Ethan.
Palestine.
You keep doing this thing.
Thanks for
playing
watching.
the clip.
Yeah, go support this.
I'm playing the clip. Just chill out.
I said it. I told you why I wasn't watching that
regardless of
Empanada
Oh my
videos
God,
initially.
Hasan, you're talking.
Hassan's just lying here. Fuck, I don't have the Discord logs. I need to go find them. Fuck. Maybe I'll just publish them afterwards. Or I could give them to Stardust and she can put them over here. No, BadEmmaPanda, on the day that Hasan was reacting to this fucking video, was fuming that Hasan had not watched it yet. Like he was calling Hasan a coward and shit. Yeah, he was really mad. He was really angry that Hasan wasn't watching the video. And he was like, people in his Discord were like, we're spamming the chat to try and get him to watch it. And then he watched it. So yeah, that's just a lie. That what you eventually got permission. Fuck off.
Over the clip. You need to let it play. Okay. You're making the clip unwatchable.
Mine. Okay. You think I want him to write?
Bro, it's just a minute long. You can chill for a minute.
Will come. Thanks for watching. Free Palestine. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, go support this dipshit that I do appreciate, regardless of my disagreements with him.
That's you now.
On his optics and the ways that he conducts
support
himself with regular frequency.
Link to his
because
page.
ultimately his product, his YouTube essays, as a standalone entity is always solid. Rick's such a fucking freak, dude. Oh my lord, he is such a goddamn freak. He is the most insane person. He has like 7,000 accounts. I just said I have an official blockade on BadEmmaPanda videos on this broadcast while I'm live. That's number one. And number two, he's not just mean on Twitter. He is a psychopath, okay? The idea that he's just...
correct. By the way, the guy who's a psychopath, who's not just mean on Twitter, who has 7,000 accounts, as you say, is somebody that you gleefully platform his videos about me. So I'm just saying, your community doesn't do harassment, right? Let's just promote BadEmmaPanda, who literally exists to harass people by your own fucking definition.
None of the things that you just showed is ridiculous. He is not just
well, you're talking. No, you're doing it right now.
Most insane person on Twitter. Yeah, let me go watch a video about a dude who constantly talks about how I'm fucking a reactionary fake socialist because I watch people's videos.
He still calls you that though. He calls you a liberal Zionist.
Seems like a good idea. It's age restricted, which means there's like TOS violations galore in there. Fucking BadEmmaPanda. The cringiest, like classic angry leftist who never shuts the fuck up and is just angry at the entire planet. Anyway, let's continue.
Why is he a terrorist? He's an Arab in Yemen. Why else would he be a terrorist, right?
Someone who, by the way, yes, you're.
Has he?
By the way, you couldn't even watch a fucking 7-minute video of me actually defending you to your audience because that would kind of betray the narrative.
It's almost done. It's almost done. It's almost done.
He would perhaps benefit tremendously if I did watch his YouTube videos on this channel, but I'm never gonna fucking do that.
So you said he would benefit tremendously if I watched him, but I will never fucking do that until he starts shitting on Ethan. By the way, my community doesn't harass people.
That's not true. Let me explain to you what.
Absolutely, provably, empirically true.
Do you want to hear my perspective, or do you want to fucking just keep playing clips that your production team put together? Okay, so BadEmmaPanda.
Sorry for preparing.
No, there's no problem with that. I mean, you're still doing a horrible job at it, but it's all good.
Hey.
So BadEmmaPanda, he's crazy.
That's the best tactic. I love it. Just remind everyone that you always remind people that you're winning the debate. Fucking awesome. I'm owning this stream, by the way, guys. You guys in chat, you're getting annihilated, okay? You're getting absolutely mogged. Not me winning.
I still say that. He attacks me all the fucking time. He says I'm a Jewish exceptionalist Zionist, okay? Like, there's disagreements that I have with BadEmmaPanda. There's disagreements with his tactics, as I've shown in that video, as I've said in that video. There's disagreements with the way he presents himself. But if you notice in that video, I also...
But if you get one clip of Hasan talking from a Destiny subreddit, that's a problem? Why? Why? But I'm going to promote this serial doxer and harasser and grow his channel and grow his community so he can do it more, like with more people. Why? You believe in nothing, my friend.
Said something. His work on YouTube Okay, his work on his YouTube essays stands alone. BadEmmaPanda.
What about his videos
YouTube
attacking me?
essays,
Are those is that
especially when
part
it's
of
issue-specific,
his great body of work?
BadEmmaPanda on his YouTube essays, especially when it's issue specific, are actually very instructive.
Then why are you watching ones called Ethan Klein?
How would you know, Hasan? You don't read sources. You don't double check what people are saying. You don't like think critically about arguments that are being made. How the fuck would you know that you're hearing anything that is like instructive or well informed? Because you just sit there and go, yeah, this sounds pretty left. Yeah.
Zionist baby killer. Why are you watching that one? Is that part of his master body of collection? Is that part of the Criterion collection there, buddy? Why does okay, it is good. Why does BadEmmaPanda role play hunting Hila and killing her in video games?
Have I ever said that I think that's appropriate?
I think no, of course not. But what you are doing is endorsing this guy.
Do I agree with you that BadEmmaPanda is crazy and also does crazy shit because he's a fucking scraggly internet troll who is?
I love the downplaying as well. He's just a little scraggly. He's just a little menace. You know, he's just a little feisty little pug.
Once again, as a separate, you know, you like to compartmentalize Israel proper from doing a genocide. I like to compartmentalize the content that I'm consuming from a guy who I do think is doing well-sourced, well-researched YouTube essays.
Why is he well-sourced? Bro, you don't know anything about well-sourced. You're a fucking troll. You're a Twitter drama slop fucking dipshit who just gets all his information from people who already agree with you, and you don't check sources, you don't read anything apart from fucking Twitter threads. What do you mean well-sourced? God.
Who also happens to be a fucking freak.
Ethan Klein is
and God forbid you find a 1-minute clip from Destiny subreddit of Hasan saying some completely indefensible nonsense.
In terms of the
by the way, I want to kill his wife.
The reason why that blockade ended, and I've watched other videos that are not related to you from BadEmmaPanda in the past on this broadcast as well.
How many?
The reason why that blockade ended.
How many have you watched not about me?
What?
How many videos of his have you watched that are not about me?
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
Have no idea.
Maybe one.
I've watched a fuck ton though. I've watched a fuck ton of BadEmmaPanda videos.
And are most of them about me?
No, not all of them are about you.
Actually, this segues perfectly. You claim I'm obsessed with you. That's part of the narrative, right?
This is me claiming that, Ethan. I think at this point, a lot of people see it, right?
Very good. Well, let's see.
Drama. Fucking drama. Let's move on.
Well, I got to read.
What are they talking about next?
So here's an example from one of these clip channels. These are all different clips, right?
Obsessed memes. Oh, no. Was the nuke out of context? Houthis in 15 minutes. Okay.
For a 2-month period, there's edited down 24 hours of you talking about me.
You spend all your day reacting to drama and ignoring posts I send you. You and Hasan are the same. I hope you guys find peace with each other one day. Listen, Sundowner, okay? You know, I need to find some... Listen, just harass more people on Twitter, okay? Just dox some people, do more harassment, okay? And call for the deaths of more civilians, and then I'll platform you all the time, okay? I want to be like Hasan.
24 hours. That's over the...
These are most likely...
Hold on.
These are fan channels.
Let me... Over 60-day period, that's 24 minutes per day.
Ethan, these are fan channels.
They're from your streams.
Right.
They're from your streams.
The same... You're presenting...
Okay, first of all, I'm just showing how much you talk about me on stream. Second of all, that the fan channel defense is a... Let me finish. The fan channel thing is a clever part of your disinformation campaign to avoid any responsibility. And the fact is, if I wanted to show all your fan channels, this is how many fucking videos was uploaded about me in the last 22 days. You think that's regular? You think that's regular?
Ethan, I have no control over my fan channels. What do you mean?
I have no control over my fan channels. How do the fan channels get the videos, you fucking 12 IQ dense frat fuck? How do you think the fan channels have access to this content? Because you stream it. I have no control over my fan channels.
Literally showing the same... I say one thing on
66
on my Twitch
videos
stream.
about me.
I say one thing on my Twitch stream. Fan channels make the video of the same thing
you
over and over
love
again.
it. It's all part, so you don't ever have to accept.
But that first one was from one fan channel, though. Yeah, you can say some of them are repeats, but the other ones are not, though. These ones before, they're not repeats. This is all within what, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. Ethan, these are all. This isn't the same fan channel just repeating the same Hasan segment. These are separate. Some of these are 3 hours long. 2 hours. 1 hour 30.
Of all your fan, that's regular. You think that's regular?
Ethan, I have no control over my fan channels. What do you mean? You're literally showing the same. I say one thing on
66
on my Twitch
videos
stream.
about me.
I say one thing on my Twitch stream. Fan channels make the video of the same thing
you
over and over
love
again.
it. It's all part, so you don't ever have to accept responsibility.
Than it actually is, but it's actually the same fucking video.
Yeah. No. Well, so yeah, this is the total. No.
It's the same moment.
No. This has the same moments.
The
last one does
same
not.
moment multiplied.
No,
Go
this
back
one
to the
does not have this.
photo.
No, this one does not have the same moments. This one is unique times you talked about me on your stream. Well, why are you deny that you talked about me for 24 hours of unedited content the past 2 months, 24 minutes per day, 7 days a week?
For the past 2 months.
Yes, 24 minutes a day.
I don't deny that.
At least.
Okay, so and
I think you are.
These are just the ones that were grabbed by this channel, right?
You are, up until this very moment, you have presented yourself as someone who is actually playing a formative role in deplatforming pro-Palestinian content creators. That was the reason why I'm having this conversation with you. Also, now, I'm glad that you brought up obsession.
Do you think this is reasonable?
I have some numbers as well.
Hold on, you're accusing me of being obsessed, Hasan. Is this reasonable? Or is this obsessed behavior? At what point does it become obsessed behavior? At 30 minutes per day? Because I don't talk about you that much, not even close.
Ethan, I have some information as well to present to you.
Go ahead. And by the way, just take this in, okay?
On your Instagram stories alone, since January 1st, 2025. Hold on. Let me pull this up really quickly. You have on your Instagram stories, not including clips, since January 31st, you have mentioned me 110 times.
What? Based on what? I don't believe that.
Instagram stories, 110. Instagram stories take like, what, 30 seconds to read? So you're talking like an hour of content. That's like an hour. 2 hours, maybe. If you want to say a minute each. Okay.
On your Instagram
wait, hold on.
story
From what period?
posts
From what period of time?
January 31st.
Hold on. Since what date?
No, that's you, not fan channels.
I'm asking you for what date.
Instagram.
What's your date? What's the date? I'm asking.
January 31st.
2023?
January 31st on your Instagram stories.
What year?
Not
The person
including.
who shared the file is called Chris CPS. Okay, what does that mean? Like the channel is called Chris CPS, or the person who shared the what?
What year?
You have mentioned
what year?
me. 2025.
So you're saying I storied about you 100 times this year? That's an absolute fucking lie. Show me the evidence of that. Show me your evidence. I've got pictures. What do you got? I talked about you 110 times. Show me.
Clips. You have basically 1.2 posts per day about me, 9 stories per week.
Where are you? Show me the evidence.
We tabulated it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find
9 stories is less than like a couple of hours, but okay. He could also just say, how many times do you talk about me on H3 podcast? But okay, it's like, the fact is that these two are obsessed with each other. Yeah. The only thing is like Hasan tries to say that Ethan is like collaborating with Destiny, and that's like and his connection to that is because of like subreddit posts once or twice. Whereas Hasan platforming like people who actually engage in harassment campaigns is whatever. Okay. Stupid drama.
the dump.
Hopefully Hasan's clever enough and he realizes that he can just bring up the H3 Productions time. There probably is a Hasan fan looking for that right now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hasan,
it's shocking. It shocked you, it seems.
Sure, yeah. But this isn't a somehow, by the way, this doesn't surprise you. 66 videos about me in the last 2 months. They're not my channels. They operate with your approval, under your direction. It's part of your disinfo campaign to avoid responsibility. It's so obvious.
Within the context, it's almost always within the context of you literally fucking H3. When are we in agreement?
Hasan, you say
called me stupid, and I said my video is bad.
You're streaming it, bro.
Wait.
You're streaming the hate videos. You're streaming. This is what you stream. I make a
Ethan, your entire fucking stream is a hate video. What are you talking about? Your entire subreddit is a hate subreddit against me, which is fine. You want to do that, you can do that. That's precisely the reason why Reddit literally got back to you when you fucking cried to them about the Snark channels and said, what are you talking about? You basically have a harassment channel on Reddit.
By the way, when Hasan talks about harassment, he's a fucking liar, okay? Harassment to him is like people making fun of him on Reddit. That's his harassment channel.
Dan, he needs you more than you need him. Stop babying this man, please. He needs you more than you need him. Stop babying him.
Well, I know that's true, but I don't baby him.
Okay. Well, Hasan would see this and think he's being harassed. That's what the H3 sub is like. That's just like one of the first Hasan mentions I saw. Okay, Ethan. I don't even know what this is. Oh, that's definitely about harassment there. Summarizing Ethan's view on the issue. That's probably some harassment as well. Because, oh, there's Hasan. Harassment! That's what Hasan sees. He's a fucking idiot. Like,
how are you complaining about this? Not only that, but you also tried to sue anonymous Redditors to dox them.
When did I try to sue? Whoa, whoa.
You wanted to dox them to their families.
What? This is on your
frivolous lawsuits to Redditors, to anonymous Redditors, knowing full well that they would be scared into submission. You also posted about that on your Instagram stories
can anonymous Redditors defame you?
Today, we are going to talk about, I'm going to show you a terror subreddit. A subreddit of terror and harassment. Hasan's wrong about the boycott. of Dr. Pepper. Oh no. That's harassment.
Harass you? Can anonymous posters who literally posted fake, they doctored posts, posted it on our subreddit saying I was banning people who are wishing a happy Ramadan. Okay, and that went viral.
I don't even know what the deal was. I don't even know what the fuck that was about.
Well, it's an outright lie. Hold on, dude. Let me respond.
Did you or did you not get your lawyer?
You need to stop because I'm going to.
Did you or did you not get your lawyer to try to bully, extort people that are anonymous Redditors?
Who's extorting?
They said some shit about you.
Bro, let me answer. Are you just going to fucking
okay?
Okay, you want to make this interview unwatchable? Is that your goal? Yeah,
go on.
Kind of, right? So let me talk. These anonymous posters, okay, were showing pictures of the front of our office, organizing to meet there. They were
what?
I know you haven't seen it, but it's true. They have documented. I have proof of them faking a post saying I was banning people wishing Ramadan. That was posted to Snark that went viral in your community. It was picked up by people in your community, leftist Twitter, TikTok, etc. It was an outright lie. It was defamation. And by the way, fuck yeah, those people should be held accountable.
One instance where I've talked about you, Ramadan, whatever the fuck.
I'm explaining the context, dude. You're accusing me of something.
I'm until this moment. What are you talking about,
bro? You're unreal. I'm explaining the context. How's that weird? You accuse me of something. I'm explaining why.
Because you're saying that I'm responsible for this I have no fucking clue.
No, I'm not.
What you're talking about? I only saw the litigation.
Hasan, is it ever okay to sue a random Redditor for a reason? Is there ever a good reason?
There could be.
Okay, very good. Well, they were fucking.
Do you think? Okay, about this
great.
instance,
It's not that crazy then.
One of the Redditors that you sued.
I didn't sue anyone.
Not
First
only
of all,
did you sue for copyright infringement,
Hasan,
but in the process,
you are absolute. Hold on, you're lying. So
in
you
the
have to stop.
process of suing them for copyright infringement, your lawyer demanded such insane things. Your only option to avoid litigation: you provide our office with all correspondence you've had with the moderators of H3 Snark. You provide our office with all correspondence you've had with other H3 Snark users. You provide our office with all correspondence you have had with Reddit.
Why?
What does that mean?
Do you know why?
You provide our office with information regarding the identities of H3 Snark moderators.
Do you know why?
What does that mean? And then
I'm trying to tell you. You just asked me what does it mean, bro.
If you do not or cannot satisfy all 5 conditions, TEI will sue you for copyright infringement and misrepresentation.
Okay, so first of all,
does your lawyer think that you can just like make people dance?
All right.
If they got him on a copyright
to have
claim?
a conversation or
this is not the first one of this I've seen. Let's see. Copylink. Let's open it. This is someone getting banned from the H3 subreddit for calling Hasan Hitler, I guess. They shall not even become a dog catcher in the future. And they get banned, and H3 mod team says, reasonable criticism is fine and even encouraged, but we do not tolerate hateful or toxic posts that promote personal attacks, including racist names in the titles of posts. I think the title of the post was Hamas Hitler or something. Hasan Hitler. Yeah, this is a harassment subreddit, by the way. Harassment Reddit.
do you want to just talk uninterrupted? I mean, that's what you do every day. Let's have a conversation, okay? All right.
Sure.
Do you know why we sent them that letter?
I don't.
Well, well, I mean, do you think that the context might be important?
Sure.
Okay, so then what the fuck are you doing?
I'm listening. I'm waiting for you to
Fucking
explain.
buffering.
Just like you didn't explain why you had 110 Instagram stories, by the way.
Oh, that is a slight pivot, but okay.
Which was
This
shocking
person,
to even you.
By the way, these people were committing continual copyright infringement. They were posting clips with the stated intention, Hasan, of stealing views from us. This person, we took down the DMC post, and they erroneously.
Views from you how? By
I'm
posting...
sorry. Do you want me to respond? This person
stealing views from you how?
Because they
by
say
posting it on Reddit.
Yes, duh. What the fuck are you talking about? Really?
So you're admitting that you literally
Let's go.
You literally filed a fucking frivolous,
really are stupid.
A frivolous copyright infringement lawsuit.
Do you know what a lawsuit?
Fair use.
Do you know the difference between a letter and a lawsuit?
Filed a
Wait, it's not a fair. It was a repost. You fucking idiot. That's not fair use. What?
Frivolous lawsuit to
not
try
frivolous.
and stop people from criticizing you on Reddit.
Did I say?
Do you know how many people criticize me on my Reddit?
I didn't say
Do you know
criticize.
how many people criticize me on your Reddit?
Oh my god, this is so
Imagine
pointless.
if I was fucking suing them.
Bro,
how much would you talk about that?
You know what?
Is this the paywalled video as well? Isn't it? This is like the paywalled content. That's not fucking fair use. Oh god. You guys want to watch some Dr. House? I'll criticize it. You know, every 5 seconds, I'll just be like, bad.
I want to ask you something. They're posting
Wait,
paywalled. They're
hold
posting
on.
paywalled content and saying, "Watch it here so that you don't support Ethan."
Now.
Okay,
Spare
me. Now let me ask you a question because this is fucking dumb. Okay, you always say that whenever you. First of all, let me give you a stat.
Mr.
You've watched 11 hate videos about me since this has started. Do you know how many I've watched about you on stream?
Your whole stream is a hate video.
Zero. I have had zero people hold my hand through some obscene hate videos. You've watched 11 of them. Now let me ask you this: whenever I make a response to these videos, for example,
that is true. Hasan does need people to hold his hand whenever he's like dealing with criticism. He won't watch a Willie Mac video, but he will watch one of his fucking dipshit friends watch it for him so that he can like get the pushback because he can't do it himself. Even when he responds to me on Twitter, he has to like scroll down to the replies to find the counter arguments. Like he can't respond by himself.
the content cop, you say you don't have time because you need to get to the news, which is something important. Then how the fuck do you have 19 hours straight, uninterrupted, to watch 11 hate videos, but you're not willing to show my response? Don't you think that's a bit cowardly?
No, I don't.
Wow,
because what's cowardly is ducking me for the past
ducking you. I'm sitting in front of you.
When you dropped the content nuke, I said I'm willing to talk to you, and you knew it wasn't going to look good,
bro.
as today has demonstrated.
I said just
and
watch
that's precisely why you tried to add additional
watch the
qualifications
video.
to it, like, oh, just watch my video, just watch my video.
That's super reasonable. Why the fuck would I have a conversation with you about a video you haven't seen?
Because it's me. I'm speaking. I
it's
know
not
the
a
clip
biography. You understand that,
Ethan,
right?
can I ask
Do you
a question
understand
for
the
you?
difference between a biography and a video that's critical of your positions? Do you understand the difference?
Ethan,
Hold on. Do you understand? Because I'm not sure you understand.
What's interesting,
it's
for
not
all
a
the people who are
biography,
tuning in
Hasan.
right
It's not
now-
about the points in your life, about your mom and your dad and growing up with your family. I'm making specific arguments that I've articulated that you have not seen. So how the
very
fuck?
poorly, by the way.
How do you know that? You haven't watched it.
Because I'm talking to you.
Because I've watched
And
11
you
hate
haven't-
videos.
And you haven't articulated a single good point yet. But
By the way, I
also,
said I would
I'll
debate
tell
you if you
why.
watched it. It's very simple.
He's winning the debate. Guys, just so you remember. Okay, oh, fuck. Just so you guys know, I'm winning the debate right now, okay? Everyone else, they're losing. You guys are losing. You're getting absolutely fucking ass blasted. Okay.
I'll tell you why.
You were dodging as fuck.
Because I responded to your context nuke before the nuke came out.
context
can't
puke,
provide,
by
There's
the
a
way.
video on my channel. There's a video on my channel that I urge all of you who are interested to go and watch. It is sitting at like what, 600,000 views? Not that many people watch it as opposed to the content nuke. Okay. In that
context
video, you will notice that months prior to Ethan's context puke, months prior to
Hey.
that, I addressed every single claim he made.
You didn't watch
in
the
his
video. How do you know
do
that?
I have the capacity to?
You didn't watch the video.
Do I have the capacity?
So
to see
where'd
the
you get the
future?
list? Do someone send you a list of all my points?
How?
Why not
How
just
did
watch
I
the
answer
video
all
then?
of his
Why not
questions?
just watch the video? It seems
Wait,
cowardly.
did
You're
I
like,
get a
I
list
don't want
of
to
all
watch
your
the video.
points?
Just send me a
Did I get a
list
list
of
of all
all
your
the
points?
things.
Did Hasan ever address the fact that he just completely lied about the Houthi operation in the Red Sea? He said that it was their territorial water. It's not. He said that they were saying, "Oh, we've got no problem with you," when they were literally pointing a fucking gun at the guy's torso. Did he not? Okay.
So I don't want to get my feelings hurt, and maybe he was making a good point.
You have, in
Why not watch the
cringiest ways
video?
possible, considered yourself to be Kendrick Lamar in this beef, this one-sided beef that you created initially.
That's
That I
right.
didn't respond to until you try to deplatform me and people who are pro-Palestine. Okay.
Who cannot?
So
by
let
the
me
way,
explain to you
being
something.
pro-Palestine
Why
means
did I
you are
have-
infallible,
why did
can
I
never
have
be
all the
criticized. That's
information?
awesome logic.
Why
You
did
want
I
to
have
talk
all
about the content
information that
nuke,
I actually
Hasan?
responded to?
Hasan, you want to talk about the content nuke? Can you name one clip that was out of context? You call it the context puke. Name one clip that was taken out of context. Go ahead.
I saw one. One was the. It doesn't matter that rapes happened. That one's out of context. I think maybe the one about the people hallucinating rapes because they were talking about claims that actually weren't true. But the rest of the ones, even on the rape thing, that was all in context.
Was out of context. You call it the context puke. Name one clip that was taken out of context. Go ahead.
Ready.
Watch my video and you'll find out.
Name
He doesn't
one.
even have one example
Watch
on
my
the top
video.
of his head. Fuck me.
Go ahead. It's about me.
No, I'm kidding. I'll show you. Okay. So
let's
one
go.
of the best examples that we were initially going to get to, and then we went on a long drawn out sequence over
what's out of
sexual
context?
assaults, is that one of the clips that you used, in your context nuke was the claim that I deny rapes happen. It was from
I showed evidence. That wasn't out of context. That was an opinion.
At the time.
Yeah, he denies rapes on October 7th. Yeah, he denies them. Yeah, he thinks they're fake. He thinks the only rape happened in captivity. He's a liar. Yeah. What?
At the time, that thing that you clipped were me being like, rapes happening do not change the dynamic for me, which was about.
We talked about this, bro. Can we please talk about something else? It's exhausting.
That argument, quite literally,
why are we
was
going
me
over this again?
defending the likelihood of rapes happening, Ethan.
I want to
Do you
talk about
feel like that was an
something else.
appropriate way to show that I was
wasn't
a
out of
rape denier?
context, bro. It literally wasn't out of context. What else do you have? I
Do you
showed.
feel like? Wait, what do you mean? You can't just say that wasn't out of context.
How was
That
it
is
out of
the
context? How was it out of context?
Because that was an argument that I was having with a chatter who was saying, why don't you deny that rapes have happened? And I was saying, there is a likelihood
about all the other ones?
that they might have happened
What
because
about all the
rapes
other
are
ones?
actually
What about all the other ones?
Yeah, he thinks there's a high likelihood, but there's no hard evidence. That's a problem, though. That's retarded. Like we've had this discussion a million times, dude. If you think the evidence is not sufficient, then you deny like most rapes that have happened in most wars in human history. That's it. Sorry. Whoop.
commonplace. Sexual assault is commonplace
What
in
about all the other
conflicts in
clips?
general. So without evidence, I am not going to immediately dismiss.
But there was evidence. You just don't think it's good enough because you've invented your own standard, like a fucking frat cunt.
What? Okay, so here
Do you feel like that was
forensics.
sufficient
Dig out
to
the
show
bodies.
that I was actually-
I can't believe he said dig out the bodies. Dig out the bodies and give them to a third party because that's fucking normal.
Actually that I was actually at that moment saying,
I think I showed sufficient
no.
evidence, yes. But the video's an hour and 40 minutes long. It's very long.
Wait,
That's
so-
one
so you do
example. That's
recognize
one
that
small.
was out of context.
What else is out of context? Go on.
Okay, great. All right. Let me give you the master list. Okay. If you want to watch the context of it, we can also go through these videos as well, or you can just take my word for it. Up to you. What do you want to do? You want to go through the videos one by one, or do you want to
give me examples that was out of context?
Okay. One of the other things that you've consistently done, aside from also the dude that you claimed was my fan, who now you admit wasn't my fan, that you falsely said was my fan.
Jiminy fucking cricket.
Okay, was the usage of the term inbred. I use inbred as a wait, what?
Because I have that. Because I knew you were going to do this, and I have the clip pulled. Let's play it, and then you can
play it. The Jewish KKK brigades out there, just a bunch of fucking inbred hicks. Imagine the most inbred white supremacist guy you can imagine. Okay, every week there was another fucking psychopathic settler, inbred fucking douchebag. Oh, these inbred fucking douchebags in the background, dude.
The thing is, like, this would be fine. Like, I don't think people care about calling specific extremists from a country like inbreds, because whatever. The problem is that, like, Hasan will note, like, if you say even a fraction of this about like a particular militant group in Palestine or anywhere else, they'll call you Islamophobic or anti-Arab. It's like, okay.
Nation entirely comprised of messianic, inbred, ultra-orthodox psychopaths. That these inbred don't understand. Educated, inbred, fundamentalist hicks.
Calling us in the middle of campus, calling us inbred, that we have no culture. One of them
Like saying we have no culture, that's like anti-Semitic if someone said that. Like,
grabbed my friend's Israeli flag in the middle of campus, carried it to a mob by the gate that were communicating with the angry mobs outside of campus.
Untrained, inbred asses shipped into southern Lebanon, telling us that we are all inbred and that we have no culture.
You want to?
You gotta watch these clips too.
Inbred, 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 inbred.
Happy birthday from Hasan. The clips are, and that's not necessarily the algorithm.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and defend your continual use of the word inbred to describe Jewish people. Go on.
Uh-oh.
Wait, do you think I'm describing all Jewish people as inbred? Is that what your assessment is here?
No, the JVP people are they're not.
Microaggressions, my friend.
Most of them aren't Jewish. I'm sorry.
We're pretending they don't exist.
Shut up, dude.
You continually refer to Jewish people as inbred.
You are such a pussy. Oh my god. Yeah, dude.
I mean,
of course I'm calling the fucking Kahanist Jewish supremacist settlers inbred. Why is it that you tried to defend the actual Kahanist settlers that were destroying humanitarian aid when I was calling them fucking inbred? You were like, oh, why? They're just nice young Jewish boys, you said, when describing that fucking video.
Did you? So again, Hasan, you have a chronic problem with the truth. Here's what you're talking about.
Douchebags in the background,
like, these are just
dude.
dudes. By the way, this is the difference between me and Hasan.
Clip again.
When I get criticized, I pull it up and I watch the fucking criticism. Hasan opens Comrade KC tweets and Snark posts and reads their interpretation of my video. Talk about being a pussy. You need people to hold your hands.
Let's
fucking be real here.
Yeah, I'm so scared of you. That's why I wanted to debate you.
And this is like
he did this with fucking with my tweets as well, because he's reading my tweet here.
ISIS.
Giuliani saying institutions and diversity. They've actually been doing. He reads my tweet here, but then he immediately just goes to
ISIS equivalents in the region have absolutely collaborated with the Israeli government.
Oh yeah, he just goes down to the responses and just grabs from there. He's so incompetent. He can't do this by himself. And every time he does, every time he tries to like think on his feet about these issues, he just like fumbles and makes no sense. It's ironic again because even this like drama stuff here with the content nuke is like, this is kind of where Hasan is probably a bit stronger because, again, people make mistakes and Hasan can just like hold Ethan to the fire for mistakes that he's corrected himself in the past anyway. But yeah, it's funny that, again, as soon as we stray from the politics, like Hasan gets more comfortable. It's funny.
This is an ongoing like joke with this community. These are just fucking benign dudes. Just, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It looks like they're doing charity or something. It looks like they've got water or boxes or something, like they're helping. And he's going, oh, look at these inbred fucks. It's like, bro, who are you? What are you? By the way, even if they're doing whatever bad, you're still calling Jewish people inbred repeatedly. You understand that, right? Rubs off on
people. They're fucking Nazis.
That doesn't make it
What's
any
wrong
less
with you? They're participating single-handedly in a genocide.
Continually to Jewish people as inbred, bro. You don't think that can affect people?
I call all racist right-wing reactions.
Would you ever call Hamas inbred, Hasan? Would you ever call like the Ayatollah regime, like the IRGC, would they be called inbred? Like, no, you'd probably think that was Islamophobic. You call people Islamophobic for calling Hezbollah terrorists. Like, it's like, again, this would be a layup for Hasan if it wasn't just the most ultimate double standard from him. It would be a total layup here because Ethan's not actually being like, I don't think this criticism from Ethan is good at all. It's not, because inbred is just like a generic insult that people can use against people they don't like politically. Like, of course you can. But the problem with Hasan is that he would never accept that for Arab groups that are bad.
Reactionaries inbred. It's one of the fucking terms that I can use that isn't like immediately
How about one that doesn't feed into like an anti-Semitic trope? Why did you laugh when that guy said that people were calling them inbred on campus? Why was that funny?
Was that guy
what do you mean? Because it's a fucking cry-bully claiming that he was a victim
he was
of
walking
harassment.
through campus.
What?
Yeah, I don't know about
walking
this guy.
through campus. How's he a cry-bully?
No, he's a cry-bully for going on Fox to be like, I was under attack. I was victimized once again.
What was the bully?
Hasan does he not know? I thought it was gonna be like, oh, this guy was actually antagonizing for content. He's a crybaby because he got attacked and spoke about it on Fox News. How does that make you a fucking crybaby? What? That's the opposite of a cry. He's gonna pull himself out of that one. He's gonna he's gonna find some dirt on the guy. He's gonna find a video of the guy antagonizing the protesters. That's why he said it. Because that guy who was like, they called us inbred and said we have no culture. You would laugh at that if the guy was actually there to fuck around and find out. But if they just said that to him because he's like Israeli or Jewish or whatever, without knowing anything about what he believes, then that's very anti-Semitic. Because saying you have no culture is an anti-Semitic trope. That's like the Jews have no nation. They're just wanderers. They just kind of pick up from other countries that they leech off of. That's like an anti-Semitic trope.
Bully aspect.
What do you mean? When someone
to be a crybaby, there needs to be a bully aspect. Where's the bully aspect?
Have you literally left your goddamn Bel Air mansion for a second and looked at the news? Do you know what's going on? An entire year of genocide side by side with people claiming that Jews are being victimized on college campuses has now led to the fucking Gestapo literally packing up.
He doesn't know. He doesn't. So he literally just laughed at that guy being subject to an anti-Semitic attack for no reason. He didn't know anything about this guy. Am I right? This is what happened? He just moved straight. Oh, people are getting deported. The human shields. Thank God for Hasan. Hasan must be so thankful that Mahmoud Khalil's getting fucking blackbagged by ICE, because otherwise he'd have no human shield. Where is this clip? How long ago was it?
With the angry mob's alley flag in the middle, inbred, that we have no fundamentalist hicks calling us in the middle of campus, calling us inbred, that we have no culture. One of them grabbed my friend's Israeli flag in the middle of campus, carried it to a mob by the gate that were communicating with the angry mobs outside of campus.
Oh, that's an Israeli flag to people on a campus. Okay. Now, my understanding is if you wave a flag at a campus, people shouldn't come up to you and tell you that you're inbred and have no culture. It's a fucking flag. What campus? Apparently this was Yale. So this guy's a crybaby because he went on Fox to talk about getting attacked. But Hasan doesn't actually know if this guy did anything. He doesn't know what this guy did. Or why he was attacked. Or what he believes. Like what?
Why is it that you tried to defend the actual...
Annually... Again, I play like they're doing... Repeat, bro.
What if it's the Confederate banner? The Confederate banner is not the same as the Israeli flag. The Confederacy literally fought to keep owning slaves. There are a million reasons you can hold an Israeli flag.
I don't think that can affect people.
I call all race fucking crocks to be like, I was under attack. I was victimized.
Through campus.
What do you mean? Because it's a fucking crybaby
inbred on campus. Why was it like an anti-Semitic trope? Why did you laugh when that guy said that people were calling them inbred on campus? Why was that funny?
What do you mean? Because it's a fucking crybaby claiming that he was a victim
he was
of
walking
harassment.
through campus.
What?
He was walking through campus. How's he a crybaby?
No, he's a crybaby for going on Fox to be like, I was under attack. I was victimized once again.
What was the bully aspect?
What do you mean?
So
to be a crybaby, then
he's a crybaby because he just went on the news to say he was attacked after he was attacked. Oh my God. Fucking hell, Hasan. Whoa.
Be a bully aspect. Where's the bully aspect?
Have you literally left your goddamn Bel Air mansion for a second and looked at the news?
He's completely
Do you know
dodging.
What's going on?
He realizes he's caught and now he's like, quick, find some suffering Arabs so I can throw them in front to deflect this criticism. Oh no, did I really just laugh at a guy getting accused of having no culture as a Jew? And then I called him a crybaby because he went on the news to talk about getting attacked after he was attacked? Oh no, that looks really bad. Oh shit. Wait! People are suffering. Did you know that there's a black bagging of Mahmoud Khalil? Do you know people are getting put into El Salvador prison? Oh no! Why do you bring these criticisms to me? Oh God.
An entire year.
Also, the fucking mansion dweller calling the mansion dweller Imagined dwellers. Okay.
Year of genocide side by side with people claiming that Jews are being victimized on college campuses has now led to the fucking Gestapo literally packing up pro-Palestinian student activists. You don't think that those fucking dipshits played a role in that on Fox News of all places? What the fuck is wrong with you? Of course you're not pro-Palestine. This is the reason why nobody thinks you're pro-Palestine, okay? Because you do this dumb shit. Because you can't fucking see the world outside of how you feel slighted by.
So you're saying people think I'm pro-Palestine because I don't like your repeated use of the word inbred against Jews?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you're running defense for kahanists who are literally...
How do you know that guy was a kahanist? You don't seem to know anything about this guy. I'd assume you would have dug up some dirt on him to find out that he was up to no good, but you don't seem to have. You're just saying he's a crybully because he went on Fox News. That's actually really bad. You don't know what this guy did then. Even if you find something now, it's like you still jump to that without having any idea what the guy was doing?
I'm not defending them. I'm attacking you. How is me saying why
you are fucking crying about me calling Nazis inbred in the process of them destroying humanitarian aid going into Gaza.
He wasn't just talking about people destroying aid, though. He was talking about a guy who said that he got called inbred and said that he had no culture on a campus. By the way, even if the guy was being a bit mischievous or whatever, you don't go up to a fucking Israeli Jew and say, you have no culture. That's an anti-Semitic trope. That's anti-Semitism to say that. The student was destroying aid. Oh, maybe he was destroying the fucking Yale protesters' Five Guys deliveries. I don't know. Maybe they were doing that, yeah.
All the clips.
And then you're going, they look like kind boys.
Yeah, I took it back immediately.
They look like nice boys that were just holding the humanitarian aid. How do you assume that people
I literally
won't see
took
that
it back immediately.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I admit I was wrong and took it back immediately when I learned the context. Do you know how that works?
Oh my God, there's a lot more. Do you want to keep going?
Have you
piece by piece?
No, it's fucking boring.
Now it's boring.
Because because you're a chronic liar.
Well,
I went back.
Maybe I wasn't afraid of the context nuke. Okay,
I went back.
Maybe I wasn't afraid of it, but I was worried that you were going to fucking clip shit out of context and keep chirping to your audience and lie to them. And now you can't lie to them. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, half of the fucking shit that we've talked about, you've backtracked on. Maybe that's the reason why people think you're fucking pro-Israel at a time when you say that they're doing a genocide.